Yo, what's going on, fellas? Right from the top, we not gonna waste no time.
You
History
don't
was made
care
last
about me,
night.
Mars. You hear that, Mars? You don't care about me, Mars.
Crazy.
History was made last night. I only care about one thing: two triple doubles, NBA Finals. The only teammates to do that in the NBA Finals, man. Y'all talk to me
No,
about it.
no. The only
No?
teammates to have 30-point triple doubles, period, ever in any NBA game, ever.
It was ever? I didn't know it was
Ever.
ever. That's
Ever.
crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I came here with a agenda to push. I have these two guys in the back for a reason. Now hear me out before you guys go crazy. Just hear me
Who
out,
are
okay?
you? Wait, who are you, Rob?
Shiloh, nice to meet you guys. If you guys haven't seen me, I was here last week. Big Lakers fan, as you guys can see. But I have a big. I want to ask a question. Would it be crazy for me to say
Yes. Yep.
yes?
It's
No,
crazy.
no.
Wait, hear me out though.
Get your crazy take off. No, get your
Now,
crazy take off. Go ahead. Let him
obviously-
get it off. Let him have
obviously-
his fun.
Obviously, you can see I'm trying to compare Jamal Murray and Jokic to Shaq and Kobe, not in play style. Hear me, not in play style, but how they're dominating right now. And just think about it. Everyone is young. How old is Jokic? Like 28, 29, 28? Jamal
27, I
Murray's
want to say.
27. Jamal Murray's like 25. Isn't it kind of like when Shaq was in his prime, 28, and Kobe was kind of getting into his prime? Jamal Murray's kind of getting into his prime.
You know how many games they lost in the playoffs?
No, I'm not saying they're dominance per se, but everyone being so young, like who's Aaron Gordon is how old? 26, 27? Michael Porter Jr. is still real young. What I'm trying to say is I can see them doing this for multiple years to come.
Run.
I'm not saying three-peat. I can see. Yeah, he did. And let me finish my point. Ticket.
Bro, who is
like I said, everyone.
My
name is Shiloh. Nice to meet
you, bro. Just because you came here and huffed and puffed one show.
My name is Shiloh. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. But anyway,
one game you come
I'm
here.
gonna finish. No, listen. I'm not saying it's not about winning one game. Listen, it's not about winning one game.
Now all
listen,
of a sudden,
you calm down because Jimmy Butler wins a couple.
You
relax because Jimmy Butler wins a couple series for you, and he's better than D Wade to you.
And then
Jimmy Butler to you was better than D Wade to you. So don't talk about jumping the gun.
Who repeat
Let's
everything
break down the
Lil say
game,
about
man.
trolling.
Listen. I'm just saying. I'm just asking.
Trying to push that lame ass agenda, man. Talking about some Shaq and Kobe.
Listen, I know you guys getting your
check your draw.
Your panty in a bunch. Listen, y'all check your draw because your panties in a bunch early.
You ever come up here and put a picture of
I mentioned Kobe and Shaq. Listen,
don't you ever put a picture of Kobe and Shaq?
Get your panties out the bunch. Relax. I know these are
Bro,
OGs.
glazing early this morning, man.
They up 2-1 in the series. And Ron, you let him come up in here, take over the PC. This dude ain't earned no stripes. He ain't earned no rank. He's a
who are you to tell me to ask a question? I can't ask the question.
This dude talking like he's a
staff
sergeant. He talking like
he's a
corporal. He talking like he's a 5-star general. This dude ain't even a sergeant. And he's sitting in here talking like he just running the show.
And
you won 2 games, and you gonna come in here and disrespect the late great Kobe Bean Bryant.
Just like how Jimmy Butler won a couple series, and you disrespect the late.
You don't lost your
just like how Jimmy Butler won a couple series, and you no. You listen. I wasn't finishing my point. I wasn't finishing my point.
You don't have no.
What about
just like how when Jimmy Butler won a couple series, and you disrespect
what about Jamal Murray?
I'm asking the question. You ain't putting no work to come in here and talk down like that.
Again, all right.
So Shaq and Kobe.
Never heard of you, bro.
I'm asking a question at a time.
How does Jamal Murray and Jokic remind you of Shaq?
Fluent wasn't in here, so Fluent don't even know who the hell you is. He trying to check who you are. You coming in here talking over everybody else. Please. We built the show. I can understand if it's bars. I can understand if it's Damo. I can understand if it's Chilltown. I can understand if it's the legend of winning or the legend of losing or whatever day it may be. But for you to come up in here and to put up a picture of Kobe and Shaq with 2 dudes that ain't even halfway, they're only 2 games in the series of wins. And to say you can think about them doing this for years and years on. 2 dudes. Bro, that's insane. That's insane. And this is the reason why I get so mad at Lowe. Because the stuff Lowe says reproduces foolishness like this. You understand what I'm saying? The stuff Lowe says reproduces foolishness like my boy Mookie putting up, oh, well, they're trolling. They're this or that. Bro, you can't jock another dude's style. Y'all got to get y'all own style. And my man, that style you came in here on that Kobe Bryant stuff and Shaquille O'Neal stuff, that is disgusting, bro. And I'm trying to save you, Shiloh, because what you going to do is the little hype that you tried to build in the first show, with that take you coming out here with today, you're going to destroy yourself because everybody in the comments is going to say you crazy as hell because Shaquille O'Neal was averaging 36 and 17 in the finals. 36 and 17, wiping out anything. These dudes ain't even won a chip yet. And you gonna come up here and put up a picture of Kobe and Shaq? Come on, bro. Out of all due respect, bro. All due respect. We got to hold off and watch them because we've seen Miami in these positions before. So because if you say all that, Miami comes back and wins the series, now it looks crazy. I would behoove just to wait till the series is over with. And if they win, then you like to say, look, man, I see them possibly doing this or doing that. And this is what I was telling Chilltown about.
When they win.
Talk to this man right here, Chill.
No, because I'm gonna finish my point. No. I'm gonna finish my point.
I got you, Shiloh. Let him finish his point. I got you. I'm gonna let you get everything.
One of the guys you put on the screen is related to Chilltown. So that's his family. So for you to do that, for you to put that dude on the screen and come in here talk about you can see Jokic and Murray doing that, what they did, Chilltown. This is the reason why I went at you and I went at Low the way I did. Because you got dudes like this that's running around here pushing these narratives when we seen what Kobe Bryant and Shaq did 3 times in a row. For him to come up here and say, I can see this and I can see that, man, they should get every tomato, every ham, lettuce, and cheese sandwich and throw it right at this dude's screen. And I'm coming here off a loss with the Miami Heat saying that. That's disgusting. And that's the reason why I go so hard at these dudes about Jokic, because he ain't won a championship yet. But we're putting him in the class of dudes who paid the cost to be the boss. Go ahead, Chilltown.
All right, no, hold up, Chill, because he didn't. Chill, you don't even know what you're walking into yet. He didn't get a chance to fully complete his take. So Shiloh, go ahead. Why are you making a comparison, and why do you think it is valid?
So I just find it ironic that the person that's doing all the talking is the same person that after Jimmy Butler, who got clamped up last night, won a couple series. He was ready to pass him over Dwayne Wade legacy wise if he won a chip. Wait, let me finish. I said, hey, you talk your mouth off, but that one was 10 minutes. No. Because it's like, no. You mixed up my words. So let me finish. Let me finish. You said a whole lot that I did not say. You said a whole lot that I did not say. So no. You said a whole lot that I did not say. You said a whole lot that I did not say. So let me finish.
What did I say?
You said a whole lot that I did not finish.
He said if they win.
If they win. No, I understand that. I'm just doing what he did to me. I didn't even finish my sentence, and he has Shaq averaged 35. I'm not saying Shaq and Jokic are on the same level, especially not Shaq. I mean Kobe and Jamal Murray. Are you crazy? I'm not saying they're close in level. If you let me finish, you would understand that, Ticket. My point was this. Just like how Shaq and Kobe were still young, or Shaq was in his prime, Kobe was still going into his prime. All I'm saying is from a winning, not production. I'm just saying I can see. Can you guys not see Denver winning for multiple years to come in the future? Because how their core is so young?
They said the same about the Bucks in 2021, and they haven't won since.
No. And on top of that, to your logic, in the fashion that Kobe and Shaq were winning.
No, yeah, I'm not comparing that. I'm not comparing that.
Well, so what is this Kobe and Shaq thing about? I need to make sure I'm understanding that.
When I say Kobe and Shaq, I just mean like a duo that's winning multiple championships.
Okay, so you are comparing those two then.
But so it could be like
let me add some fluency to this conversation and ask a question, because it sounds like to me what he's saying, Shiloh. It's my first time meeting you. Nice to meet you. So I'm going to ask a question. Please tell me if I'm correct. He's saying when you look at Shaq and Kobe, they got to a certain point in their careers where they were both young and they won, and then they continued to win for multiple years. He's asking, not in the same manner as Shaq and Kobe, not as dominant as Shaq and Kobe, but seeing Jamal Murray and Jokic play as well as they are together and win, does this look like a team, because they're so talented and young, that is a team that isn't just like a one-run thing? Like this could be a team that's competing for titles for the next 3 to 5 years.
a dynasty.
Okay,
back to back.
Right. So with that being said,
if they win, is he
okay? So
they win the series?
Are they good enough to compete?
Let them ask the questions. Y'all all ask them questions. When you ask them a question, let them answer.
Are they good enough to compete for the next 3 to 5 years for chips? Because they're young and they're already this good. I believe is that your question, Shiloh?
Yes. No, okay. That's basically what I'm trying to pose. Because like I said, then the reason why I use Shaq and Kobe is because it's just a big man and a guard. Like I don't want to use KD Curry. You know what I mean? I'm just matching up big. What's the last big man guard do what we saw win multiple championships? Even
if that's true, those two don't.
Kobe and Pau.
Yeah, right. Not only Kobe and Pau Gasol, those two do. Kobe does not apply to this at all. And the reason why Kobe does not apply to this is because number one, when Kobe and Shaq won the NBA championship, he was in year 4, so he was way younger. Not only was he way younger, he had a way different upside. Jamal Murray, who's coming off an ACL injury, we don't even know if he's still gonna hold up. Number two, Shaq. Again, with Shaq with Joker. Joker is in year 9? Shaq was in year 8, way more dominant. So the logic that you put in these two, you're going to have to come up with some other guys. And the reason why you got to come up with some other guys.
If it was Tim Duncan and Tony Parker?
I would feel comfortable if it was somebody else, but other than Shaq and Kobe.
Is that better?
I would feel better if it was somebody. I still wouldn't feel better if it was Tim Duncan and Tony Parker.
That's kind of my point.
They're younger.
What if it was Shaq and that Jenner girl?
Ooh. Yo. Hey, because look, Fluent. Wait, Fluent. This episode's gonna get kind of nasty on that type tip, but we'll get there. But
I just want to say one thing because
I don't know who that is.
What people do. I understand one thing people do is when we compare like older players, we just throw pitchforks and how dare you compare him to him. I'm not saying they're like even the same. I'm a Kobe fan. Kobe's my favorite player. I would never dare say Kobe's on the same level as Jamal Murray. I would never say that. But it's like how you said, oh, would you mention Tim Duncan, Tony Parker? You wouldn't even do that. So it's like no matter any historic player I use, you guys will see it as disrespectful. How dare you do that? I'm not.
The reason why is because
I'll do Rick Smits and Reggie Miller.
Hold on.
They haven't won though. They haven't won.
Yeah, neither have Jokic and Jamal Murray.
That's the point, Shiloh. The reason why these guys
they haven't yet, but they have.
That's the point, Shiloh. When you're comparing all-time greats, you have to compare them relative. You can't. When you bring up Shaq and Kobe, immediately what people hear is they hear 3 NBA championships in a row.
Yeah, I'm saying that.
Kobe Bryant, who could possibly have won one of those finals MVPs. So when you say Jamal Murray and you say Kobe Bryant, that's who they think you're comparing them to. That should never come out, and that's what it sounds like. Okay. And because that's what it sounds like, you're going to get attacked.
But
and
I get that. I get that. Are you saying that you think that if they win this year, they could potentially go on to win 3 in a row, something like that?
No, not 3 in a row, because just like how we call the Spurs a dynasty and they never won back-to-back years, I'm just saying like they could win.
That's what Kobe and Shaq did. That's why.
But again, you're doing a direct comparison. I'm not necessarily saying they're going to do exactly what Shaq and Kobe did. I'm just saying they could be the new dynamic duo to win multiple championships.
But you got the Shaq and Kobe. You got the Shaq and Kobe up there.
Because that's the most prominent. Yeah, I'm a Lakers fan. No. I like Shaq and Kobe
because you knew Shaq and Kobe would get a reaction. If you said Tim Duncan and Tony Parker, we would have been calm and civilized. You knew what you were doing.
But not necessarily that. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think of Tim Duncan and Tony Parker, but I'm a Lakers fan, so I'm just thinking Shaq and Kobe. Like that's the first thought.
Shallow. Let me be honest with you. The reason why we saying that is for one, this series, Shaq and Kobe, Miami wouldn't get a game.
I agree.
Listen. We're potentially thinking that this series gonna go the long way. Even though Denver won last night, we know how Miami gets down. Shaq and Kobe, we're saying sweep, Braun, everybody on this panel is saying this is over with a prime.
Shaq would destroy Bam. Shaq would not play Bam. He would destroy Bam.
It brings back memories of what we seen Shaq do to opponents. Yeah, we watching Jokic out here hitting dudes with the finesse and everything, but Shaq was out here absolutely demoralizing cats, bro. terrorizing.
But you see, that's what I'm not trying to do. Like again, I said this again.
Punching Mutombo in the face. When
we bring up classic players, I'm not comparing them. So let's not. Yeah, like I'm not saying.
But I don't even think. I don't even think they can. I don't even think they have a. Listen, I think that
and Jokic is killing Bam, but I'm not again.
Well, let me say this to you. I think this year, they if they win a chip this year, I don't see them as a team that can win two or three championships in a row like that. I don't think they can win back to back because I think the rest of the league is so much better. You're gonna catch somebody along the way. You're gonna catch a stray along the way. Because my whole thing is like when you look at it, bro, it was the same way what I thought with Giannis. I thought Giannis was going back to back. And then look, it's always something that comes up. You know what I'm saying? Like the way Giannis won that chip and the way the Bucks came back the next year, we all thought Giannis was going to win chips after chips after chips. And it didn't happen like that. So when we talk about Kobe and Shaq, we got to think about, man, they had obstacles too. But they went through those obstacles and got those chips over and over and over again. When I'm looking at Jokic and Murray, like Chilltown said, Murray's come off a major injury. He's been hurt. The role players, let's talk about that. They're not as good as the Lakers. Other guys stepped up. B. Shaw, Robert Ory, Ron
Derek Fisher,
D. Fish, all those. They don't got dudes like that. In fact, Murray and Jokic, if they don't do what they do through 2 more games this series, this going a long way. They have to do that because Michael Porter Jr. is a no-show. KCP has been a no-show. All these dudes that I told y'all would crumble are crumbling. It's just that their greatness overshined that along with bad coaching from East Spo. So I just think that's why I was so mad with Lowe for saying the stuff he's saying about Jokic before he win the chip. I don't never want to compare them dudes to those dudes. And what I said about D Wade is that's why I said if Jimmy Butler was
I'm saying the same thing though. I'm saying because I think Denver's gonna win.
No, you said do we think can we see this duo being like Kobe and Shaq? And I'm saying
I'm posing that question because I think Denver's gonna win. So I'm saying once they win. So should I ask this question after they won?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess so. When they win, I'll come back to this question.
What I said about
Shiloh, you got to get it off when you get it off.
Everybody,
that's what I'm thinking. But everyone's saying it's so hard. Oh no, they didn't win technically yet. Like,
but Ron, that's not cool. Ron, that's not cool though because let me give you a perfect example. Right, when we come up and say, for example, Wembanyama's coming in the league next year. For dudes to come in here and say he's gonna be better than LeBron and stuff, he ain't proved nothing.
See, that's not what I'm saying.
Hold on. But for them to say this,
it's crazy.
You got to prove that. You got to put that work in and prove that first to where you at a level to where it's even a conversation. See what I'm saying? To me,
not only that, to this super chat, not only that ticket, but to this super chat, there is not one person in this room that at any point said Book and KD was Shaq and Kobe. Nobody in here said that.
Nobody.
I'm 100% confident. So I don't know where you getting your information from when you say y'all compare. Y'all who? When you say y'all, because I'm telling you right now, I can't speak for Shiloh, but I can speak for Tone. I can speak for Tone. I can speak for Mars. I can speak for Ticket. And I can speak for Ron. Not one of us in here ever said Book and KD and Kobe and Shaq in the same sentence.
That's
not one of us ever said that.
Mars, before you go, I want to say this, and I'll say this to Mookie, and Mookie knows this is true. I won't even pick Denver over a healthy Clippers team next year. I wouldn't pick Denver in a 7-game series over a healthy Clippers team because I'm gonna be honest with you. I think if the Clippers didn't get hurt, I think they eliminate the Suns. I think they eliminate Denver. I think Denver got too many weaknesses across the board that if the Clippers team was healthy, I think they could have beat them, especially with the acquisition of getting what's the backup big dude they got this year, Mookie?
Plumlee.
Him coming off the bench in accordance with Zubac starting, I thought that they had all the right personnel lined up. Now, everybody can laugh at me and say, oh, the Clippers haven't done nothing, but that's what I'm saying to Shiloh. These are different things that if those teams are in order, if the Lakers flip D'Lo and they get a point guard, maybe a Kyrie or something, bro, there's no way I don't think Denver is going through that West again.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily have them winning 3 in a row. I just said dynasty, like how the Spurs never won back to back, but they're still considered a dynasty. They didn't win it after every year they won.
I think the Clippers.
But even if that's true, but go ahead, Tone. I'm sorry.
No, all I was going to do was repeat the same thing. It sounded to me like he was just saying, would they be competing for titles over the next 3 to 5 years?
And that may be true. That may very well be true that they will be competing for championships in the next 3 to 5 years. But when you're talking about dynasties, when you're talking about what Kobe and Shaq did, 5 trips to the Western Conference Championship in 8 years, not just 5 trips to the Western Conference Championship, 4 trips to the NBA Finals in 5 years, winning 3 straight. They were the only team since the Bulls. The Bulls and the Celtics was the only team to do that with 2 all-time great players. I don't know how good Jamal Murray is. Right? I don't know what that rotation is going to look like. I don't know what Christian Brown's going to look like. I don't know how much longer Jeff Green's going to be on that roster. I don't know how they're going to retool that roster. With all of that being said, the San Antonio Spurs going to the playoffs for 20 straight years, winning the NBA championship every other year. If we're talking about a team in Denver winning the NBA championship every other year, that's stability right there. Well, I don't even know if Jamal Murray's going to hold up because we've already seen it
for a second.
Especially when you think teams.
Because you said Christian Brown. You said Christian Brown, and I know everyone's saying his name is Christian Brown, and he says his name is Christian Brown, but that's a damn lie.
It looks like it's Braun.
It's like Braun.
B-R-A-U-N is Braun. You know how I know? Because I watched Seinfeld, and there was Lloyd Braun, and he was crazy. And he
don't do that, Fluent.
His name is Braun.
Yeah, when I see it, makes me nuts.
His name is Braun.
Yeah, anyway, but to the point, when I think about the San Antonio Spurs, a model of consistency. Like Denver just got nice over the last couple of years, right?
Chill though. Isn't this what happens though? And I'm not justifying anything, but we hear this all the time. We can even go back to LeBron James when he was first coming in the league. When they put during a high school game, they put a commercial of Kareem, Jordan,
right,
Kobe,
right,
and it was a couple other people too. I can't remember.
Right.
I think Magic.
Right.
This is before dude even was drafted.
Even if that's true, though, Ron, the difference is that we hadn't seen anything from him. Jamal Murray been in the league 7 years. Joker been in the league 9 years. We already seen these dudes. So we know what it is.
How long was Shaq in the league? How long was Shaq in the league till he won his first year?
Oh, Shaq was in the finals though. Hold on. Shaq was in the finals early in his career, is what we saying. So even without Kobe, even with Penny, and you matter of fact, hold on, it would have been a better comparison if you putting Shaq and Penny at that time. Because Shaq,
but they never won though. But come on, hold on. Because Shaq and Penny never won.
Hold on, sir.
So you understand the never won argument because you want to use it against the Jews that never won.
No, what I'm saying is what I'm saying. I'm talking about as far as contending. I'm saying with Shaq and Penny, they did get to the finals early. They got to the finals earlier than what Jokic and Murray have. Now Murray, like I said, he was hurt, like Fluent said. Shaq, he was dominant. You understand what I'm saying? But when Shaq got with Kobe, bro, we all knew up here, all of us, me, Fluent, Chill, everybody. Once they win it, we say, yo, they winning the chip. We won't even no question. With Denver, we're legitimately, what I just told you about the West, asking questions. Because if the Lakers make upgrades, if the Clippers stay healthy, if the Warriors make a few tweaks, if the Sacramento Kings come back stronger and better, bro, that is gonna be a hit, bro. I'm telling you right now. To think that these dudes are gonna be able to even do what the Spurs did, the model of consistency, same coach, be able to get top-notch role players to come in year after year, especially when Fluent is a genius at this and Mars with the cap that's coming up, with the new CBA that's coming up. It's gonna be harder for you to get those because don't they got Michael Porter Jr. making $100-some million Fluent?
179.
Yeah. That's crazy. So for you to say that now, that's why I say you got to think about.
All I'm gonna say is this, and then I'm finished. Just like how Ron brought up how people were comparing LeBron to Kobe, Shaq, MJ, like while he was in high school. You don't think people was calling that crazy? Like while that was happening, like while he's in high school, you don't think people was calling people crazy for comparing him? It's like how Ticket said. But hold on. Just like how Ticket said, it's crazy for people to say Wembanyama is like KD, right? That's crazy. Wait, listen though. Wait, hold on. I'm saying this one point. I'm done. Wait, hold on.
Let him finish right quick.
My point is just this. All I'm trying to do is I'm trying to be ahead of the curve and just start a question. Of course, it sounds crazy because it hasn't happened yet. It's like how calling LeBron, MJ, and Kareem was crazy in high school because it hasn't happened yet. Now look at LeBron. All I'm saying is I'm trying to be early and predict something. I'm not saying it's fact. He's better than Shaq and Kobe. I'm posing a question, trying to be early.
So let me play the flip side for Shiloh for everybody else. Let me play the flip side. So hold on. Is there a better duo? The way they're playing right now? Is there a better duo in the NBA than Jokic and Murray?
That's a fair question.
Not right now, but we said the same thing we said the same thing 2 years ago, Tone, when Holiday and Giannis was doing it. We thought
Holiday is like 30 years old. Holiday and
we say Holiday
that too. No, we didn't. Yeah,
I don't think anyone was saying Holiday and Giannis.
It was Middleton.
It was Middleton. But we were talking about those two guys, both Middleton and Giannis. But when you talk about Jamal Murray,
but that was more on the strength of Giannis being so good and having a.
And that's why we're talking about Joker. That's why we're talking about Jamal Murray on the strength of Joker being as good as he is. We're just talking about Jamal Murray.
Hold on, chill. Jamal Murray is a great basketball player as well.
Yes, he is. However, as great as he is, a lot of that has to do with him playing with Joker. A lot of that has to do with that.
But the reason why you act like he's.
I gotta agree with Chill on that. Hold on, I gotta agree with Chill on that too. Because think about it like this, y'all. Without Kobe, Shaq went to the finals. Without Shaq, Kobe went to the finals. Do you think that Jamal Murray could take a team? Be the leader? I'm asking you a question. No, I want you to think about why we saying that though. Do you think that Jamal Murray could lead a team at any point in his career to the NBA Finals without Jokic? A guy on Jokic?
No, but could he?
I don't know.
Could Jamal be the number 2 on a championship contending team?
I ain't saying no. But I'm saying those guys were number 1s on teams that went to the finals.
Well, I'm saying Tony Parker wasn't, like I said, but you got, if I use Tony Parker and Tim Duncan, you guys said that.
But you didn't use Tony. You used
Tony. Okay, but even if I did, you guys just said that's not good. That's not a valid either. So I'm damn if I do, damn if I don't. Tony Parker couldn't lead a team by himself, but he still won multiple chips with Tim Duncan.
Well, hold on, we gotta add this in too. Hold on, they also had a third Hall of Famer on that team, so you gotta add that part in too.
He was bad,
and that's why I didn't use them because.
Right. So I'm saying, so when you talk about duos, that's why I said stick to that duo.
When you projecting,
and I'm
projecting. That's what I'm doing. Projecting.
That's what I'm doing. This is why me and my boy Chill the other day. Because Chill didn't know. I didn't want Chill saying that, Mookie. I didn't want you because I knew this was gonna happen, Fluent. I knew this was gonna happen. Soon as they went up two games or something like this, I knew people was gonna come out here saying this stuff about and listen, the all-time greats, bro. Hakeem caught his rep because he won championships. Shaq caught his rep because he won. Bro, listen, me and Chill talked about the other day. Orlando didn't even want to pay Shaq $100 million, and he took him to the finals, bro. I want you to think about this, Shallow. Orlando didn't want to pay Shaquille O'Neal, who was probably behind Hakeem, the most dominant player in basketball at that time. They didn't even want to pay him $100 million, bro.
They lowballed him.
And when he won chips, but I'm saying that when he won chips, you think about this. Now everybody's seen. So what I'm saying is, bro, listen, I think Jokic is a great player. I think what he's doing is great. But I just think that, bro, until these dudes start winning it like that, we didn't give Giannis that until he started winning. They said he couldn't even win MVP no more until he won chip. These facts. They said LeBron James. What happened with LeBron? What happened with LeBron was he was in Cleveland, Chilltown, and LeBron was losing all those years in Cleveland. They said, nah, we ain't finna give you nothing until you win the chip. He had to go win a chip in order for people to start really talking about him.
He still was considered awesome, but until he got to that level, we couldn't talk about him like we talk about the other dudes.
That's facts. Nobody cared about him going to the finals.
And when you Shallow, when you talk about projecting, right? I can get with the logic of projecting, like, yo, these guys, for example, the Lakers. When the Lakers won the NBA championship in 2000, I was looking at Kobe and Shaq thinking these dudes gonna be around for a while. I'm pretty confident that these dudes, after seeing everybody in the league and after seeing the landscape of the league, I'm looking at Kobe and Shaq. Did I think that they were going to win it 3 years in a row? No, I didn't think that. But I did feel like, yo, these two guys were going to be around for a while. But I wasn't going, yo, Kobe and Shaq are the next Magic and Jabbar. No, I wasn't doing that. Absolutely not. I was not doing that.
But when that happened, there was a lot of conversations about Kobe and Shaq. Are they like 1-2 in the league? They're definitely both top 5. I don't think we're having that same conversation. And I know you weren't comparing them to them, Shiloh, but at the same time, no one's saying is Jamal Murray and Jokic both top 10 players in the NBA.
Nobody's saying Jamal Murray's top 15.
It's a very different,
He's top
you just did a list, Fluent. You just did a list yesterday.
Murray is top 20.
How many players did you name on that list, Fluent? Like 20?
What was that?
The list you just named the other day when y'all was naming a list and talking about players that was better than Jaylen Brown in the league. You named 24 players, and Jamal Murray wasn't none of them.
Yeah, that's right. He was
Jamal Murray.
Hold on. On the list, you're right.
Jamal Murray is a top 10 point guard.
He can't. No. We ain't talking about
no. We're not talking
You're talking about Mook. We're not talking about him being a top 10.
But y'all saying he ain't no top 20, top 25.
No, we saying he not a top 20. Hold on, time out. We're saying he's not a top 20 player in the league. Fluent named 20 players the other day before yesterday when B Smooth was on here. That was better than Jaylen Brown in the league right now. None of those dudes were Jamal Murray.
But just because you were top 10 point guard does not mean you're a top 20 player in the league.
No. I understand that, but I'm saying is that you don't think he can make a great valid case that he could be.
No. You can make. Listen, you can make a case. My point was to talk about their greatness and longevity and potential longevity. Right when it was a different conversation, and I'm not comparing him to Kobe and Shaq, and Shiloh wasn't either. But I'm saying we could have that conversation with Kobe and Shaq because I don't think anyone was arguing these guys are both top 5 players in the league. So nobody was arguing that. Them winning multiple championships? No. Of course you can. You got 2 top 5 players. In this case, you got Jokic, who's clearly a top 3 player, and then Jamal Murray, who's not a top 10 player. I don't think anyone's going to argue with that. So it's harder to kind of make that assessment. Like, can we see these guys winning multiple championships or competing for multiple championships every other year when you got one guy who's clearly top 3 and another guy who's not top 10? Like, again, is anyone going to argue with me that Jamal is not top 10? And I love Jamal. He's from right around here. Right. He's not top 10.
No, he isn't.
No. I want him to be.
Is he top 20?
Shout out to where's he from? Hamilton?
Is he top 20? Mars, is he top 20?
He's not in my top 20.
So is he top 25?
There you go.
I'd have to make a list, but I doubt it.
No, I'm saying you gave 20 the other day.
I think you can make a case for top 25.
I think you can make a valid case for top 25.
I mean, I don't have I'd especially have to now sit down and think about it, but then you got
y'all, it's easy. Y'all said Giannis, y'all said Steph, y'all said Joker, y'all said Embiid, y'all said Jason Tatum, y'all said
AD,
y'all said y'all said KD, y'all said
Anthony Davis,
y'all said AD, y'all said LeBron James. That's 10 right there. Then you can go on. Y'all also said
so clearly not top 10. That was my
yeah. Y'all also said, listen, they also went on and was saying guys like De'Aaron Fox they put up there. They also
Devin
put up
Booker.
there
Devin Booker.
Yeah, keep going. They
Jimmy Butler.
They also put up there Jimmy Buckets.
Donovan Mitchell.
Bam. I think Bam is better than Murray.
Up there, huh?
Bam. I think Bam's better than Murray.
Nah.
No.
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, I can't
really?
Hey, hold on.
Wow.
Is Jaylen Brown better than Murray?
Yes.
Because of both.
That's false.
Oh, you said Jaylen Brown?
Yes. I mean, Jaylen Brown has been all NBA. How many years? Yes. He has been to the.
He's a much better player in the regular season. Okay, cool.
But well, no, I'm just saying. I mean, are we ranking them over Jamal?
As much as y'all break it down, bro, nobody has the ability. Like, it's very few point guards had the ability to rise to the occasion, to the playoffs, bro. Up their level in the playoffs, what Jamal Murray has been doing, bro.
Well, this year. Hold on. First and foremost, you talking about this? You talking about this season?
Not just this year. Just look in the bubble. Look at the
other.
He had a crazy bubble run.
We've seen Curry do it,
bro. If you compare Jamal Murray's production in the regular season and compared it to the playoffs,
that's because that's because he does what
Jimmy basketball player in the regular season.
But hold on, but Mookie, you're easy work. That's because he does what Jimmy does. Jimmy averages 22.9 in the regular season and bumps that to 28 in the postseason. Most of these dudes that we're talking about averaging 26 to 28 to 29 to 30 in the regular season. So you talking about bumping it up. That means they're averaging 35 or 34, 33 in the playoffs.
So then, hold on. Did Jimmy numbers went up like compared to in the year that they went to the bubble? Is his regular season average and compared to his playoffs in the bubble? Did that went up?
Hold on,
Jimmy Butler.
I gotta check that, but I'm pretty sure his numbers. His
production went up.
Only had
his production wasn't
2 elite postseasons, bro.
Well, his production
in this postseason right now was like because he was great against Milwaukee and then he was good against the Knicks.
Well, they're in the NBA Finals, Mookie. So I mean,
right?
I
know he's in the NBA Finals because it's just how good his collection of his team is.
I mean, at some point in time, you still have to give Jimmy that love. But listen, here's the thing, right? Yeah. When Jimmy was in Miami his first year, he averaged more in the postseason than he did in the regular season. His average went up.
Which means his production went up.
Right. His averages went up in the playoffs. Every single year in Miami, his averages went up except for the second year.
Yeah, because he went from that average 14 points per game.
Yeah, that was the second year. But after that, he averaging 27.3 this year. He
now look at Jamal Murray and compare his efficiency.
Which is higher than it was last year, by the way.
Right,
just so you know, which is higher than it was last year.
You look at Jamal Murray. Look, Jamal Murray, he is killing. He is doing his thing. But Jamal Murray only averaged 20 points per game in the 20 points per game in the regular season. So we got to look at it like that.
So he plays good in the regular season. Then when he goes to the playoffs, he's even a better basketball player because he's much more aggressive.
No. You say hold on, but he's averaging the same thing as Jimmy. Him and Jimmy average the same thing in the playoffs this year.
And on top of that, can we get it? Can we talk about the fact that
he averaged 27.4? That's the same as Jimmy in the playoffs.
And who's more efficient?
Hold on,
who is more efficient?
Hold on. I got him, Grilltown. Jamal Murray shoots 48 from the field. So let's look this up. I'm talking about in the playoffs. So Jamal Murray shoots 48 from the field in the playoffs and averages 27.4 this year in the playoffs. Jimmy Butler this year in the playoffs averages 20 the same amount of points, and he shoots 47% from the field.
So 48 and 47. So they basically.
What about the 3-point? What about the 3-point percentage?
We all know that Jamal Murray a better 3-point.
So if you look at
Jamal Murray shoots 39 from the three. Jimmy Butler shoots 35 in the playoffs.
All right. So if you look at true shooter percentage, Jamal Murray is average the same amount of points, but he's even more efficient, bro. So.
True shooting does not work.
He easy to beat.
Hold on. Like Jamal Murray, bro.
He easy to beat. So Mookie, let me ask you a question. Hold on, Mookie. Let me ask you a question because I'm gonna demolish you right here on PC. I'm gonna end you right now. So Mookie, hold on, Mookie. Let me ask you a question. When Paul George played with Kawhi, do that make Paul George's job easier or not?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, well, shut up. Now, shut up. So,
yeah, but hold on. But what is that saying?
Hold on. So
I'm not saying Jokic. I'm not saying Jokic don't make Jamal Murray's job easier.
I'm gonna drop your ass off real quick. So Murray's playing.
That's not the point that I made.
Hold on. Murray's playing with Jokic, a dude that draws that much attention as Big Yoke draws, right? So obviously, Murray is going to have an easier time to get off his numbers too because he's playing with a dude such as.
Yeah, but you act like Jamal Murray. You act like Jamal Murray's not crazy.
Hold on 1 second.
You act like Jamal Murray's not crazy.
I'm gonna show you the art of war right here.
You act like Jamal Murray feeding off of Jokic gravity and shit like that.
The percentages of them two are close, and Jimmy ain't playing with nobody the level of
Joker.
Shut up, fool. You done, boy.
No, but yeah, hold on. You
keep giving Joker praise.
Hold on. You sat there and made the claim talking about Jokic. Bro, that shit can be applicable for Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray makes Jokic's job easy the same way as Jokic make Jamal Murray's job easy. It can go both ways, bro. But to sit there and say that Jokic is just helping Jamal Murray to score, bro. Jamal Murray's creating at each level, bro, from 3 levels behind the 3-point line, getting towards the rim, his shot creating ability, bro, to have elite handle and also to score from all 3 levels to get to the rim as well, bro.
And that is effective. Here's my problem with you, though, Mookie. Right, I can appreciate all of that, though, Mookie, but you're completely leaving out one side of the basketball. How about Jimmy Butler being an elite defender?
He done. I just pulled up Jamal Murray's numbers for his career without Jokic. You know what his numbers is?
They ain't as good as they are now. I bet you that.
16.3 points per game.
You
4 assists.
16.
Yes, these are Jamal Murray's stats without Jokic on the court.
How many games is that?
Hold on.
How many games is that?
Hold on. He's played 23 games his career without Jokic.
Is that a large sample size?
Yes. In 23 games,
man,
he averaged 16.
You brought up the playoffs. You brought up the playoffs. How many games you playing in the playoffs?
4 assists, 3.7.
Yeah, but that's different, bro.
23 games without Jokic in his career, and I got every single game he played. Hold on, Mookie. And Mookie, hold on, Mookie. This is why I'm really finna destroy you. You know what he shot in those games, Mookie? He shot 45% from the field.
But 23 games in a regular season is not a larger sample size, bro. It's not a large sample size. You
that includes postseason
23 games in the regular season.
That includes
that shit, bro.
Jokic hasn't missed a playoff game, so.
Right, no, I'm saying that's this entire career. I'm saying this is an entire career.
Yeah, but Jokic hasn't missed a playoff game. So every playoff game Jamal Murray played.
I'm just letting him know. Right, I'm letting him know his entire career that he has played without him, even up until this past season. Look, he played this past season against the Golden State Warriors, right? Without him, right? That he played this season against the Golden State Warriors without him.
I think he went 31-13 and 7 or something like that against them.
Yeah, but
he dropped 26. Hold on.
26.
He dropped 26 against them, 21 against the Pelicans, 17 against Indiana, 24 against the Clippers.
But Tiki, you keep on saying, hold on, Tiki. You keep on sitting there saying that Jamal Murray's production is going down without Nikola Jokic. Bro, if you look at in the playoffs, bro, look at Nikola Jokic compared to regular season without Jamal Murray, compared to his numbers in the playoffs without Jamal Murray, his assist numbers is going down, his true shooting percentage is going down, his rebounding average going down, his scoring is going up. But, bro, when Jokic does not have Jamal Murray, it makes his job even harder because his efficiency, his assist numbers, his rebound numbers is going down.
Hey, y'all watch this.
The same for Jamal Murray without Nikola Jokic, bro.
Last point, and then we gotta move on. Go ahead, Tiki. Last point though.
Hey, Fluent, I'm gonna wipe up this boo-boo stain for you, right? Hey,
Go ahead, man. Try.
Watch this. Hey, Mookie, this is why you're amateur hour. I love you, but this is why you're amateur hour. Hey, Fluent, I need you to answer 2 questions for me, Fluent. What did Nikola Jokic do the years he didn't play with Jamal Murray?
Won the league MVP in back.
In case closed.
Hold on. You all about winning. You all about winning, motherfucker. You all about winning. Now tell me what happened. Tell me what happened. Tell me what happened the first year, nigga. Tell me what happened with the first year, motherfucker. He got his ass. Hold on. Tell me what happened the first year. He got his ass put out. He got his ass swept. Hold on. Now you easy work. Now you easy work. Let me cook your ass right quick. Without Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic got swept against the Phoenix Suns in the second round. On top of that, against the Golden State Warriors last year, without Jamal Murray, he got beaten 5 goddamn games, nigga. When they had Jamal Murray with Nikola Jokic as a duo, they was making deep postseason runs to the goddamn conference finals, nigga, and make it to the NBA finals. Stop lying, nigga. Stop lying, bro. You fucking easy work, nigga.
Wait. Hold on, ticket. Hold on for a second, ticket. This is what we completely forget now. Number one, you brought up true shooting percentage. True shooting percentage is really tricky. And the reason why it's tricky is because I can go 9 for 25 and I can go 11 for 11 from the stripe and it'll even it out. So true shooting percentage just doesn't work for me. That's number one. Number two, we've seen what Joker has done. We've seen what Joker, that's what true shooting percentage is.
No, I could go 8, but what's wrong with that?
Yeah, going 8. What's wrong with it?
If you get to the line 11 times and make all of them, that's efficient scoring, is it not?
That is efficient from the stripe, 100%.
And that gives you points, right? That gives
it's not 113% efficient.
I agree. I don't like the fact that there's a little coefficient on 113%. Yeah, I don't like that there's a coefficient on true shooting.
Right, and what it
does for technical fouls and stuff.
And the reason why I'm saying that, Mars, is because if I go 8 for 27 and my true shoot, if I go 8 for 30, or if I go 8 for 27 and I go 11 for 11 from the stripe, and people see that my true percentage is higher, they're thinking that I am efficient. When in reality, those 27 shots that I shot, those 19 of them that I missed, a lot of those shots may have very well been bad shots. Not only are they bad shots, it looks bad if you watch the game. But if you're just looking at complete true shooting percentage, it looks like, well, he's not that bad in terms of efficiency. When in reality, that's just
that's why you need a balance.
That's why. First of all, you need to watch the games. But even if you don't like if you don't like the free throw component, there's still effective field goal percentage that takes out the free throws, and that's still just better.
With that being said, let me ask
then if you don't like the free throw,
Mars, let me ask you the question. And since you and Loman going at me about this, do y'all think Jamal Murray could do more than what Jokic did without Jokic with that same Nuggets team in the playoffs?
That's what I was.
What did I go?
I'm asking. No, Mars. I'm not disrespecting you, Mars.
I just didn't go at you for anything. I don't think Jamal Murray could.
I just asked you one question.
But do you think that? No, I don't think Jamal Murray is getting.
That's why I said when they as a duo with Jamal Murray, stop acting like Jamal Murray this fucking role player, bro. He's a great coach.
There's nobody saying that he's not a ain't nobody saying he's a role player. I'm not saying that, but the reality is that Joker has done more without Jamal Murray than Jamal Murray has without him.
We haven't seen it because Jokic have never missed a playoff game, bro.
And that's not Joker's fault. That's not Joker's fault.
It doesn't matter who's done more without the up. They play together. Why do we have to care what they do without each other? They play together. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Together.
And on that note, we have to move on, fellas. On that note, we have to move on. Appreciate your logic, Mars.
Ron, it's important because Mookie, the same dude that's sitting up here saying, "Hey man, we got to give all these props." He doesn't give anybody the props that plays with Kawhi Leonard. He doesn't give Paul George.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
He dissed Paul George every day on this channel. I got the videos to prove it.
I sit there and said, hold on, bro. Hold on. We're not going to do Mookie. I gave Paul George credit in 2021 when he held it down. Why I got injured, bro.
We got to move on, my friend. We got to move on. Well, hey, I promise you, we'll get back around to this. We got 2 more hours. It's a super chat somewhere in there that'll bring it back up.
Man, nobody, man, that's dudes that listen to you. You low junior. Or you say everything low say. You want to be low.
So how many disciples does Low have? I want to be no low nigga. I don't watch low nigga. Ticket. How many low disciples is it just running around? Nigga, stop that shit.
All I know is Lowe's the first one that made up the trolling, and now Mookie making videos talking about, yeah, man, the Nuggets was trolling at the game too. And stop.
Yeah, they were trolling. They were.
Get your own rhyme book.
They was trolling.
All right, y'all. Moving on.
Ain't nobody came up the word trolling.
Get your own rhyme book.
Stop it, man.
I love this conversation that we just had because literally, right when the playoffs ends, whether it's 5 games, 6 games, 7 games, whatever, we will be doing our player rankings of the best players postseason. We'll be doing our best duos postseason. We'll do our position rankings: point guard, shooting guard, big man, all of that good stuff. Coaching rankings. So we'll really get down to the bottom of where we feel everybody should be and whatnot. And don't worry, Mookie. You'll be there. Shiloh, you might get an invitation too if you don't jump off too many other cliffs. And on top of that, you guys see the title of the show. We will be talking about superstars on and off the court and in different fields of life, all type of stars. Well, moving along, I have some super chats and whatnot, but I'll get to that. I just want to let you guys know this show is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. That is an app
brought to you by
that you can download and win a good amount of money on the players that you watch every day in the NBA. All you have to do is choose a player, 2 to 5 players, pick their stats that they're projected for the day, and then click higher or lower, and it will happen. Hey, you guys remember my man, the Crooked Cat that came on Monday?
Yep.
He sent me a $300 bet that he made last night, and he hit it.
Yeah, because I have
from rags to riches.
How much you win?
You know what? He sent it to me. I'm gonna pull it up and I'm gonna put it on the screen.
I gave him the answer. You remember?
I was one Bam assist short from heading to. Yes,
you did do that ticket. With all due respect,
all this stuff about me. I won that boy that money. I gave him the answer.
Ticket did.
You want a commission? You know what I'll do? Exactly I can't give you a commission, but I can do this. You know, Decathlon Sports here in Vaughan. They just donated 30 shoes to our shoe drive on June 17th. Link is in the chat. But if you go to Decathlon Sports in Vaughan, 10% off. Just use the promo code FLUENT. That's it, just FLUENT. And they'll give you 10% off at Decathlon Sports in Vaughan. Shout out to those guys. Thank you for the shoes and everything that you're doing for June 17th. Check out the link in the bio. We're going to get kids who can't play sports. We're going to pay for them to play some sports and get some shoes. So
Ron, tell that boy to take that super chat off the screen. Your name is Buttered Biscuits. We don't want to hear nothing you got to say. Get him off the screen immediately.
Buttered Biscuits.
Yeah.
Thanks for the super chat, Buttered Biscuits. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Biscuits sound good right now.
Oh, I didn't read the super chat. I like the name though.
Yo, so in light of Underdog Fantasy and everything right now, Chilltown, I want to ask you and Fluent actually. I need you guys to each give me 2 players outside of Jokic and Jimmy. Who needs to have the biggest games?
Who needs to have the biggest games for Denver? I think Aaron Gordon needs to have a big game for them because you saw what happened when they dominated on the backboard yesterday. They basically just controlled the game. So I think he's one of those guys who needs to have a big game. And I actually like what this kid Christian Braun is bringing to them. So if he could give them those minutes, and I don't even need 15 for him to have a big game. If I could get 12 and 5 rebounds from him, I think that'll be huge because if Aaron Gordon is doing what he's doing, that means that they're on the backboard. That means they're controlling the tempo of the game. And I also think Aaron Gordon as a defender, I thought he did a really good job on Jimmy Butler. So with him and Christian Braun, I think those 2 guys are key to what the Denver Nuggets are doing. I would like to see MPJ do more, but I'm just about jumping off of that train. And for the Miami Heat, I mean, if we're gonna be honest, we talking about outside of Bam, and we talking about outside of Jimmy. Max Strus, man, Max Strus needs to start knocking down some shots. He does. Not only does Max Strus need to start knocking down some shots, I'd like to see Caleb Martin get involved more than he has. Because I've seen Caleb Martin come up big, not just with buckets. I've seen him come up with getting big charges, right? Getting big defensive stops. I've seen him do that. So I think him being more involved in the game could help the Miami Heat out a lot.
Got you. Fluent, who you got?
I just want to say he said Christian Braun.
Did I say Braun, Tom?
Gotcha.
Did I say Braun? I'm sorry, I mean Brown.
I think Christian Brown will be moving forward. Christian Braun. Okay, fine, that's his name. I think he's actually the X factor, that third guy, because I think you're going to see in Game 4 he's going to take even more of MPJ's minutes because he's playing better, as he should. Like, I think MPJ was down to 20 minutes in Game 3. That might even drop even more. So I think he's going to be outside of Jamal and Jokic. I think he's the one for Denver. And then I think, it's interesting. They put in Duncan Robinson when they were down, I want to say 16 or 17. He knocks down a 3, and we're like, why wasn't he in there before? And so I think Duncan, because I think we're going to get what we're going to get from Bam, unfortunately, from Jimmy, just not playing what he's doing. And I think you're going to see better games from Vincent and from, oh, shoot, why am I drawing a blank on his name?
Duncan Robinson?
No, not
Max Bruce,
Robinson.
Caleb Martin.
Caleb Martin. That's it. I think we're gonna. Yeah, I think they're gonna. They were in foul trouble a little bit yesterday. I think we're gonna see them back to what they normally are. So I think it's a guy like Duncan Robinson who's gonna need to be knocking down shots because that team, when they win, they shoot 45, 50% from 3. And last night, what was it, 30%, 29%? Like they shot really poorly, and they can't do that. So they're gonna need a guy, even though he's a liability a bit on defense. They're going to need him in there knocking down threes. So I think it's Duncan and Braun.
What happened to Tyler Hero? Wasn't he supposed to be back?
Nah,
I think he had a setback. I don't think that's that he's. I don't think he's playing.
Did you see Espo last night when they went on that run and made it 16? Did you see what he said when he called timeout and walked out to the half? You know how the coaches walk out to the court when they call timeout? The camera caught him. Did you see what he said?
No, I didn't.
He said, "Damn, I effed it up." That's exactly what he said. He said he effed up the game because of his rotations. He said, "Damn, I effed it up."
Had it, yeah.
Yeah, his pin in his hand.
Good for him.
You can tell he was thinking, "Damn, I effed it up." With his rotations, because what you just said about Robinson, bro. I've been telling y'all, he's the key to the series, bro. It's his gravity that he draws. Look how much gravity he draws just when he comes off screens. He shifts the entire defense, bro, and his ability to shoot the ball and get quick hitters. I think they should look for him more. I think he should have a quicker trigger. The same way you just said about Michael Porter Jr. and his minutes, you can see now. Because I told y'all Michael Porter Jr. wasn't built for this. He ain't built for this right here. I can tell he boo-boo. He one of them dudes, chill town. You know how we get there. I walk on the court, I'm gonna slap him right in his face. Right in his face. I'm gonna tell coach to take him up for the team. Boom.
But you know what though? He did do something. He did do a couple of things yesterday. He was diving for a couple of loose balls. There was some effort there that I did not see from MPJ earlier. So maybe that's a good sign. Maybe
even if that's true, you still got to do your job. And what is his job?
Yeah, I know, but it was good to see because a lot of times when you miss shots, you start to dip your head and you stop trying. So it was good that I think he was still, putting in effort. That's important.
And MPJ has a history of when he's not making shots, he doesn't. He puts his head down. So
because that's who he is, Shiloh. He's that guy.
Bro, did you see Mike Malone?
Seeing him try,
Mike Malone watches the show. He gave us a minute of Reggie Jackson. Shout out, Coach.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That made me laugh. That's
crazy. Yeah.
And we got a UD sighting.
Yeah.
Oh, we did.
I don't know if you noticed. Mike Malone looked at the camera when he put in Reggie Jackson and gave us a little wink. That was for us. So you didn't see it. Go back and watch it.
Hey,
yo, Fluent.
My bad.
Fluent. Right quick. I need your 2 players.
I gave you my 2 players.
Can you say it again?
Was it Christian Brown? I gave you a whole monologue on it. Christian Brown and Robinson.
Well, hold on. Chill already said Christian Brown, so I need one more player. We got Duncan. I'm doing this for a reason, to add to our underdog slip of the day. So now we have Aaron Gordon.
So you need from Denver? Brown. Someone else from Denver?
No, two from Miami. You said Duncan Robinson.
Well, Duncan Robinson, and let's go with
That's wild.
You done his husband? He said Martin. He said Caleb Martin. He said Caleb Martin.
Okay, yeah. Right, Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin has to stay out of foul trouble. So he's needs to be.
I said Caleb Martin.
You said Caleb Martin. Okay, Gabe Vincent. They only play 7 players per team. If he picked 2 and I picked 2, there's somebody left.
Especially when you can't pick Jim and Bam.
I can't pick Jim and Bam. He picked 2. That's 4. There's only 2 guys left that are going to play.
Nah, that's not true.
significant minutes.
That dude with the patchy head, he need to step.
No one's
They keep calling him with the patchy head. Cody Zeller. Cody Zeller. That's what
that dude got the patchy head and the mask on when he comes.
You need to let it go. He does need to let that go.
No one in their right
mind. Isn't the same guy you said that they should have started ticket?
No, I'm saying no one. Hold on, Shallow.
No one in their right mind. Hold on. No one in their right mind is picking a guy that Jordan drafted.
We said that only because they were lying, saying that Kevin Love was hurt. But if you go back and look at that same video at the hour 15-minute mark when I confirmed he wasn't hurt, I said no, they should start Kevin Love because he's healthy, like I said. But you, I know you didn't hear that part. You just want to troll, so it's okay.
Who's trolling?
All right, y'all. Moving forward, we did have a $400 giveaway yesterday, and I did pick the person who won yesterday.
Was it me?
It's none other than Fluent. I'm sorry. You was like. It's like third place, bro. That's okay. Next time, maybe you'll get him. But my man Tan the Man, aka Grande Jones, he ended up winning. I've talked to him. He's ready to come accept his prize. I asked him, "Did you want to donate it to Ticket or Mars?" And he was like, "Nah."
I hate him so much.
He said it. He said if it was low, more than likely yes. But
can we start a GoFundMe? Can we start a GoFundMe for Bob because he only got $3?
We might be able to work something out for him. But Tanner, man, salute to you. We'll have you come on the show tomorrow. And we'll go ahead and talk about that. And Friday, we'll be doing another $400 giveaway. So if you haven't got a chance to, download the app, put in the promo code, the panel, and you'll be eligible for that as well. But moving along, let's go ahead and get into these super chats. Not unless you guys want to talk about Zion Williamson's double.
Oh yeah. Hold on. We got to do that, bro.
His double off the court.
Hey, listen.
Hold on.
Let me say this right here, bro. Let me say say something that's real, bro. What Fluent? What draft did him and Ja came out in?
19.
This is the most. I'm gonna tell y'all something, bro. That this has the potential to be the worst top two draft picks in NBA history, and I ain't talking about all potential, bro. No, I'm not.
And not because of on court.
We're not talking about all potential. We're not talking about that. We're talking about 1, injuries, 2, stupidity, 3. Let's just start with Zion Williamson, bro. First of all,
you're doing. Start with the injuries. 4 seasons, 29 games played.
29 games. Now, and let's talk about this now, right? So then this past season, didn't he tell the team when they said he was 99% ready to go? What did he say? Chilltown and Fluent.
Quote, I will play when I feel like I'm Zion again.
But he's out here running up and down with strippers and adult film stars every night. No wonder this dude ain't got no legs. No wonder he ain't got no leg. Hold on. No wonder he's always hurt, bro. This is why his legs and his lower extremities is always hurt. Bro, listen.
You're not giving them a rest.
The girl said,
you don't do this before you play games.
She said she was helping him work out.
He was helping him work out.
I bet you she was.
What?
She was like, yo, Zion.
I bet you she was helping him work out.
She was helping him lose weight, bro. So that helped him, bro.
I bet you she was.
Realistically, that stupidity of this stuff. So now.
Okay, but let me ask you something, Ticket. Hold on, let me ask you something. If he was playing at the level at the 29 games where he did play, if he was playing 70 games a season at the level we know that he can play at and was doing all this stuff, would you have an issue with it?
We don't care. You don't care because you're doing your job.
But he's not playing. We have an issue.
We care because you making more headlines for this stupidity than you are actually playing basketball. And so now what you've done is you put your team in a horrible position because not only can they depend on you now, because when you were 99%, you refused to play. When you were 99% and said that it was because of emotional reasons or whatever like that, but you ain't had no problem doing what you was doing on the side. So this dude and John Morant, Mr. Water Pistol Pete Jr. himself, that's running around here with 4 runs and drops, bro, this could be the biggest disappointment because when they came out, when that duo came out, I thought this might be the best 1-2 duo in the league in a long time, bro. After the first 1 year,
probably since Hakeem and Jordan is probably crazy, the best 1-2 draft. Or no, that he was 3.
These two dudes with a few more major mistakes could be out of the NBA, bro. That's insane.
Who do you guys think regressed their pick more, Memphis or New Orleans?
New Orleans.
Memphis. I think Memphis.
And the reason why I say New Orleans is because there's not one time where you've seen Zion Williamson give you a fully healthy season. When I'm talking about when the roster was built perfectly around him, right? That he gave him a fully healthy season. He was healthy going to the playoffs.
But that's why I think it's Memphis. That's why I think it's Memphis because New Orleans is like, okay, he's an idiot, but at the same time, he's always hurt. So we can't necessarily control injuries. Memphis, on the other hand, has a healthy guy who's just stupid. So that I regret that more because I'm like, damn it, he can play. He's just doing dumb things with his brain.
I just feel I have an excuse. At least they seen John Morant in the postseason healthy, and they seen like, okay, this is what we need to fix going to the next following season. They haven't seen Zion Williamson healthy going to a playoffs, so they can sit there and make some judgments on like, you know what, this is what we need to prove on our roster. This is what we need to prove. They just don't know. We just never seen a fully healthy season for Zion Williamson. When they add,
so what do you feel better? What do you feel better about? A guy who doesn't play because he's hurt, or a guy who's going to be suspended for 50 games because he's playing with water? Because he's playing with water.
50 games, but I don't know if you're gonna. If a guy is not playing, bro, and he hasn't gave me one healthy season, bro. When they added the pieces of CJ and all them other guys, he has to give me one fully healthy season going to the playoffs, bro. And y'all can make an argument that, bro, when he played with the New Orleans Pelicans, I would say late November, December, they was the #1 seed in the Western Conference. So with Zion Williamson playing, they was a good team where people sit there and say that they could contend for a championship or go deep in the postseason. But the fact that he's getting injured and they fell off the earth so bad, bro, and he's not being healthy going to the postseason in the playoffs, bro, that's frustrating for an organization because, like, bro, we give you max contracts. We put these stipulations in where you got to manage your weight and stuff, and you're still getting injured going to the second half of the season in the playoffs. It's easily Zion Williamson.
We gotta remember too, Tone. We gotta remember too, Tone. When you have the #1 overall pick, we building our unit around you. Our future is staked on you. So when you can't hold up, this could very well set us back years. Whether you don't, whether it's because you underperformed,
they should have listened.
He didn't have an injury history. He didn't have an injury history at Duke. He didn't have an injury history coming up in high school. So there was nothing to go off of with this guy. But when you taking this guy with the #1 pick, we're building our unit around you. And come to find out, you can't hold up. That throws a monkey wrench in everything that we're doing. Everything that we're doing now. A guy like Ja. When I think about a guy like Ja, the Memphis Grizzlies with him out of the lineup, they still were winning. So it wasn't like they were terrible without him in the lineup. They were still winning. I think they were something like 10 games above 500, 10 or 15 games above 500 when he was out the lineup. That was just last season, not this season, but just last season. With Zion out the lineup, we're talking about a team that was the #1 seed in the Western Conference to out the playoffs.
But do y'all trade him for Jaylen Brown?
Ooh. Boston ain't doing that. Ticket. I don't know why you keep saying that. Boston is not doing it. The reason why Boston is not doing that is because they don't want that headache.
I'm saying Zion. I'm saying if you're Boston,
oh, you mean Zion? I'm
saying if you're Boston, you New York, do you trade for Zion? Fluent.
No one's trading for a guy who's played 29 games in 4 seasons.
Hold on, I you just said it. Wow. New York, you would do it the other day, Fluent. I thought you said that the other week.
If I'm the GM of New York, but I had other trades too. I had a lot of moving pieces.
But hold on. So I'm saying you would hold on.
In 2021, he played like the whole year.
Hold on. Let me ask Mars. Mars, if you had a chance to trade Julius Randle on a package deal, send him back.
Yes. As long as you bring up Julius Randle,
he's gone.
Mars is all in. Mars is all in. Bring up Julius Randle.
Listen, you got to make sure you got to get it, because here's the part of the thing that we are not talking about yet. Does Zion want to play? And if the answer is yes, is it that he just doesn't want to play in New Orleans?
Yeah.
So I'm questioning, does he want to play? And if so, is it just that he does? And I don't know why. Listen, I know why he signed with them, because the money. But like, is it just like he doesn't want to be in New Orleans? And I feel like if you bring him to New York as an example, that's why when we had that conversation, I said, yeah, I'd do it. Is because I feel like if I bring him to New York, I'm going to be able to give him everything he wants. Right? I'm going to get him healthy.
Everything.
Everything.
Even more.
All right. Even more, Ron.
Hey, it's the Big Apple for a reason.
I don't want to say
this. There's a reason. Wilt Chamberlain, right, is playing for the Philadelphia Warriors, right? That's who he's playing. He plays a game in Hershey, Pennsylvania. And what does he do? He jumps on the bus and goes back to New York with the Knicks after scoring 100 points on him.
No, not a bus, not a bus, Tone.
Jumped
in a car with them dudes.
In a car and drove back with them. Yes, because he also had a nighttime number to hit after his 100-point game. So see, perfect for Zion.
But even if that's true though, Tone, and I'm sorry to interrupt you. Even if that's true in terms of him not being in New Orleans, wouldn't the temperature get turned up if he was in New York? So what he's doing now in New Orleans, if he was in New York doing this, right? If he was in New York, if he was in Miami, if he was in Los Angeles, and he was doing this, how much more heat would he get? Can you imagine him playing for the Lakers doing this? The kind of heat that he would be getting? It wouldn't be that big deal with the Clippers because the Clippers got a history of bumbling things. They do. But even in Los Angeles,
chill out.
Hey, I'm just keeping it 100 with you, Mook. You got a history of getting it wrong more times than you got to get it right. That's
you said that. You said Zion only played 29 games in 4 years.
Yeah,
on average.
On average, okay.
On average.
2021, he played 61.
Right, and as a rookie,
yeah.
and as a rookie, played 29 games, and last year he only played 24 games.
Yeah.
So
my thing with Zion is just honestly, I don't care about the man's personal life, honestly. What just makes it worse is he's not playing and this is happening. If he was, like you guys said, playing and doing this, it's funny for a couple of days, funny news story, but at the end of the day, he's still playing, still being Zion.
To me, at least with John, no one cares about him balling off the court.
Off the court, exactly. To me, I would say, like, my question I asked, like, who regrets their pick more? I would say New Orleans because at least with Ja, I feel like that's with his situation, that's more fixable. That's more like he's still playing. Like he's in. I think so because after a certain while, I feel like Ja, he would. I hope so. He would mature enough and realize, okay, I have a big opportunity to have generations. You know what I mean, of wealth for my family. He could change that. But Zion Williams, no one really knows how to prevent his injuries. His weight is going down, but he's still getting injured. There's too many questions in and out of off court stuff. He's getting more attention off the court than on the court. So I feel like with Zion, there's too many questions, and with Ja, just put him in rehab for 3 months, and I feel like he'll eventually.
Zion might need to go to rehab too, though.
And it's just
but that is true. But the injuries is harder to gauge with the injuries.
I'm the exact. I get. I'm not disagreeing with what you guys are saying. You're all valid points. You're all valid points. The reason I flip it and keep saying Memphis is, like I said, is because Zion is injuries, and injuries are easier to heal than a dodo bird. And I just think I regret Ja because he's making decisions.
You can't fix stupid. You can't fix stupid.
Fluent than a what?
Stupid.
You can't tame it though. I feel like. You can tame
no,
stupid.
You can't. If you a dumbass, you a dumbass. I've always. My grandmother had a 6th grade education, the smartest woman that I've ever met in my entire life. She said, if you was a dumbass when you was a kid, you're probably gonna be a dumbass as an adult.
Exactly.
So you can't fix stupid.
You can't fix it, but I feel like you could kind of like steer it in the direction you want it to be. You know what I mean? Like give him some PRP.
But I also feel like I don't know. It's close. It's close. That's why it's a debate. But I also feel like New Orleans can also do this, right? When they're if they're like sitting there and they're having to answer for their draft pick, they can easily say, "Hey, you can't." They shrug their shoulders. You can't control injuries, right? Whereas Memphis is like, I don't know, he's just stupid. Like you can't. There's nothing. There's no excuse. That's all. That's my only reasoning. But it's close.
Hey, y'all, I just want to drop this breaking news on y'all, man. It's bad for the.
Please don't tell me someone died who didn't.
No, Chris Middleton just had another knee surgery, bro.
Well, we know that he was going the other way though. Ticket like I think he's 32 now. So the Chris Middleton, the Chris Middleton of 2021, the Chris Middleton of 2020 in the bubble. We see that dude. He's on the other side of that. So we don't really know how much more time we have with him. Plus, I think his contract is coming up. So the Milwaukee Bucks is in a position. Yeah, I don't know if he's getting cut, but the Milwaukee Bucks, they're in a position where I think that they could possibly get something for him. I think they can possibly get something for him, but his days in Milwaukee are numbered. I'm sure of that.
Definitely. You want to keep Giannis there, so yeah, they're not going to waste time with Chris Middleton.
Right.
All right, fellas, I'm gonna go ahead and dive into the super chat. I just also want to say I find it ironic that this whole time we thought it was the grits, shrimp, gumbo, jambalaya. Come to find out,
it's something different.
Yo, maybe Zion is just.
It is.
Maybe he's just a naturally. Maybe he's just a naturally fit guy, right? Because I'm watching this. Be like Ticket brought up. him in the off season, but I'm watching him in workouts during the season doing stand-up windmills underneath the basket. Like he ain't getting a running start. So it's obvious that you have to be in shape to do something like that, right? You can't just come walk in the door and you just doing that. So he's obviously in shape. The problem that we having with him is his lower extremities, because he's bottom heavy. That might be the biggest problem. The fact that he's bottom heavy, he's more prone to injury.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
too big. He's too big to move like he's built like a football player, like a football player.
I was thinking, Mook, that he looked at me like a linebacker. That's what he looked like.
But that's what also keep in mind too, though. And Fluid had alluded to this earlier. Dude said, "I'm gonna play when I feel like it." Basically, so like, as far as we know, Zion could have been ready to go.
He could play tomorrow.
He could have been ready to go. He said he was 99%. He was ready.
So he was doing 360 windmills.
And that's 99 isn't 100. So
90.
So we can come up here and say lower extremities and all of that, but it's like if he could play, he was
a guy that moved.
No one plays at 100%. Okay.
Nobody.
No one plays at 100%.
I think nobody leagues plays 100%.
And that's why there's that stupid lie.
You want it to be the first.
You know when stupid people say, I'll give it 100%. That's a lie. That's a lie. You got 10 fingers. You can't give me 11. That's a lie. No,
Braun and AD, we're both playing with foot injuries the whole playoffs. Like no one. Yeah,
I know some people can.
I'm gonna pay you. I owe you 100, but I'm gonna pay you 110. I only have 60 though.
Zion one of them freaky super freaks, man.
Yeah.
And that's fine. No one judged Wilt. Leave the guy alone.
Hey, bro, I just find the hypocrisy, like, because people like, they killed Paul George for marrying a stripper, right? But when it's Zion Williamson, it's like, it's a pass. I mean, he's young, bro.
He's getting killed though.
But Zion, man, the thing with Zion is that she made it so public on Twitter because she got mad. That's all.
That thread was insane.
And then the stripper that Zion Williamson,
it was never ending.
Hey, the stripper that Zion Williamson got pregnant, bro. Like, bro, it's so many pictures of her hanging around with rappers and her stripping down for other.
Did you see Zion was hugging her,
bro? It's just
Zion was hugging her when he was holding like.
Oh man,
hey man, you guys don't frown on love.
Hey, y'all know how
you find love finds you.
This wouldn't be an issue. It's so crazy. This wouldn't be an issue if he was just playing on court. Magic Johnson had stories and things coming out about him, but he was so great on the court that no one cared. Will Chamberlain
winning too,
and they were winning. Will Chamberlain had stories too, but he was
Tone. He didn't get in the car with the New York Knicks and go to New York. He lived in New York playing for Philadelphia.
I know. I know. He was going home to New York because that's where
he lived there.
Better numbers, better odds.
So this is on the court. If he does plays games on the court, this
all of this stuff goes away.
Have your fun.
Just imagine how your baby mama like tapes are on the internet where everybody can see like that. How many people then ran through that junk, bro? Like it's just if you.
That's
nightly occurrence. Bro, you should be very.
That's a different conversation. That's a whole.
I'm just saying, like
it is, man.
It
really is.
It really is. It's not good for Zion Williamson, bro.
And like, if we being honest, the only reason why we're talking about this because it's him. It's plenty of dudes that have girls
that have a long history.
I was just about to. It's plenty of dudes that have girls that you know what. It's probably best that I don't know everything about you because if I did, I would probably be gone. But what I do know,
a big celebrity, a big famous celebrity has her own starting five with subs. It's just common now, bro.
Right.
All right, fellas, we're gonna go ahead and move on. We got a bunch of super chats I want to go ahead and run through.
Yep.
Let me run through these like Zion. All right. Street Menace said outside of game 2, in the fourth, Christian Braun has been great in his role. Don't know why people wanted his minutes cut.
Now, when you say people wanted his minutes cut, who are these people, my man? Because I would like for you to.
Well, there's just as many people who say he's good that say he's trash.
The Thomas Bryant fans.
Because he's a rook, right? It's not like he been on the crew for 4 or 5 years. He was in college last year on that University of Kansas team. They won a national championship. So he comes into the NBA and he's solid on this unit, just learning the pro game and getting significant. He should be getting significant minutes with these guys. I mean, he played significant minutes during the regular season. So I don't see why
he's shown flashes of
right.
It's not like he's shown flashes that he could do something things like this. So
Yeah,
right. So he should be playing
valuable minutes on the court, bro. I'm glad Michael Malone cut Michael Porter Jr. minutes because it's not like Michael Porter Jr. He was missing shots, he was rebounding at times, but he was doing a bad job of staying attached to shooters, bro. It's so many times, especially in that third quarter, where a Duncan Robinson or a Matt Strus just missed some high quality looks because Michael Porter Jr. inability to stay in front of shooters and contest shots behind screens was glowing there. And
I'm glad you brought that up.
Late in that third quarter, Miami Heat missed some high quality looks where I believe in the game 4, they're gonna knock them down, bro. And that's why I said game 4 is gonna be a tough game. And I'm glad Mike Malone cut his minutes off of that, bro. Because I'm like,
you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up, Mook, because when you watch MPJ, do you think is there an IQ issue with him?
Yeah,
damn right.
Yeah,
that's why he didn't play that. That's why he got into it with Mike Malone that first. Remember that first year they was playing the Lakers, Fluent, and he was ticked. Him and his pops was ticked because he wasn't getting that much burn against the Lakers, and Mike Malone was like, Mike Malone was like, hey man, you got to earn your minutes around here. I don't care who you are. And his pops was ticked. His pops was sitting down there in the bubble on the sideline, like fuming when they zoomed in the camera to him when his son was on the bench, and it was just like, you don't play no D. You know what I'm saying? You don't play no D. You only doing one thing. So he had to kind of build up his thing over time. He ended up getting that contract, and now it's like, bro, who has a worse contract right now, him or Jordan Poole? Because nobody they're not giving him the same smoke as they gave Jordan Poole.
Make that trade.
$179 million. Mars, do you think it's an IQ issue with MPJ? When you watch him, do you think that there's an IQ issue with him?
I think he's irrationally confident. So,
which is fair. All right.
If his confidence is the cause of his IQ, probably, then yes, an IQ issue. Defensively, he's a bit lost. There was a couple of plays where he was the clear reason why he was giving up wide open threes, and that's probably why he played less. But offensively, I think it's just irrational confidence, and defensively, I do think he's sometimes.
Yeah, if you're talking about the defensive IQ, I think that's where the problem is on the defensive end. His IQ isn't there. He falls asleep. He's not like fully locked in the full 24.
Someone back cut him as well. He got back cut. Yeah, it was very bad.
But that happened often with him though. That happens a lot with him. He falls asleep. He might ball watch one possession. He might just. And I feel like when he's not scoring, that's the biggest issue with me. When he's not scoring and on fire, he's not engaged into the game like that.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because we had a conversation not too long ago when I asked the question: how many guys, even elite guys that you watch, know how to play basketball? I don't think Michael Porter Jr. knows how to play basketball.
The skill guy.
I know. Yeah. I think that he's a long ball shooter. Mars, you did bring up the point about him being irrationally confident. That's like a chick who's a 6 who thinks she's a 10 and she'd be walking around like she's
and then wants you to treat her like a 10 as
right.
Well.
Chick, you really not all that. You really not. And that may be true. But when I watch Michael Porter Jr., stuff like getting back cut, being able to be on the line, up the line, in a position to be in the passing lane, knowing which hand to put in the passing lane, knowing how to close out on a shooter. Which foot do you use to close out? Which hand do you use to close out? The reason why he doesn't know this stuff is because if you remember, he came right from AAU to the University of Missouri, where I believe he played like 10 games. And then he goes from that, expecting to get on this Denver roster. And he said that, Ticket brought it up being in the bubble. He said that when he was in the bubble, y'all dudes need to start going to me more. So he expected what was going on at the University of Missouri and what was going on in the AAU to happen immediately in the NBA, when I don't think he actually knows how to play basketball.
But
do you think his back is missing him though?
There's a second piece.
I think we passed that.
There's a second piece to that because you say he doesn't know.
Back doesn't mess up your IQ.
Also a want. There's also a want, right? He also probably doesn't want to play certain ways, right? Like when you're a shooter that scores, I know from experience, you'll walk a little bit, you'll take defensive possessions off, but then you hit a shot and all of a sudden you start to sprint and you start to play a little bit more defense, and you miss a shot and it's like, I don't necessarily want to set that screen. I'm not looking who's behind me. So I think there's a level of what you're saying he doesn't know, but there's also I don't think there's a desire to do all those other things. That's why I said I like the fact that he dove for a loose ball because that's uncommon for him. Right?
That's an easy fix, though.
That's how I'm saying.
That's a real easy fix, though. You know how easy that fix is? Hey, Christian Brown, come on.
Yeah, come sit right here. Yeah, you come sit right here.
That's real easy fix.
He needs a reality check. I think he still thinks, like you said, he's in high school or college where he could just shoot. When he needs to learn that he's 6'10", when you're not having a good shooting night, do the other things. Because even in the Lakers series,
every bit
like
of it,
6'10", yeah,
Wow.
6'10".
Yes.
In the Lakers series, he did a good job of like being like the background defender when they say someone drove, he'll come behind and block shots. But that's because he was making shots over Austin Reeves. He was making his shots, so he was more engaged. If he could just fix his engagement and not only engage when he's having a good shooting night, he could be at least average on defense. Nothing crazy, but at least average on defense. He just
a guy who he reminds
ties
me
his
of,
defense too much of scoring.
Even if that's true, Chilo, a guy that he reminds me of, I watched him and I was a big fan of him, and Tone might remember him. He could be a better version of what Derek McKee was when he was playing in Seattle. When he was playing. That's why if he could be a better defender, I think he could be a better version of what Derek McKee was. And Derek McKee was good. Really, he was an all-league defender, could shoot the basketball, 6'10", could play multiple positions. I think Michael Porter Jr. is something like that.
He also used to get on the boards when he needed him to.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I think that
Michael Porter Jr. rebounds. He does rebound.
He does. What I won't do, Mars, is I won't take that away from him. But I think that a guy like him,
Derek McKee would get dirty. And I don't think
he was on an all-league defensive team. He was an all-league defender. That's what I'm talking about. And I think Michael Porter could be a better version of that if he tried a little bit more. And if he learned the game, and I don't think he knows the game.
I know you don't like
he's the
that
real
term.
To me, like he has to play like
they
have won games without him playing.
He's sticking his nose in there. He'd give you those intangible minutes.
All right, y'all. Moving along to the next super chat. Pimp named Slickback says, Shiloh, that's a crazy take. That's like saying Jimmy Butler's legacy could be better than D Wade.
That's why I just find it funny. The person who was
y'all ain't gonna get off that. Y'all gonna stay.
It was just crazy that the person that said that was going crazy, and like he didn't say the same. Basically,
put a name.
If Jimmy won, Ticket TV. If Jimmy won, he would have been over D Wade. I'm just saying. Once Jokic wins and Murray, it's a chance for a dynasty. That's all I was saying. It's a chance. That's all I was saying.
So everybody, hold on. So you basically saying that everybody that win a championship have a chance of a dynasty?
Well, it starts with one. You gotta get one and win a dynasty.
No, that's not what I was saying. If you was listening, that's not at all what I was saying.
Well, you sit there and said that they win a championship as a chance for a dynasty. That's what they said against Giannis when he won a championship. That's what I didn't
say that. So I'm not everyone else. I didn't say that. So
no, that's what the consensus were.
But I didn't say that. So.
Yeah, I corrected that. I made them more fluent. Keep going.
I never said that.
Now you're more fluent.
T-Rev with the super chat. He said Kobe and Shaq were compared to Magic and Kareem before they won anything. To be fair.
No, they weren't. When Kobe and Shaq showed up, they could be right, but they weren't compared to them in that aspect. No, they weren't. Once they started winning. But once they started winning, then the comparison started. When Kobe and Shaq showed up together, what they said was, "This could be Jabbar. This could be Jabbar and Magic."
So isn't that? I'm kind of saying
that. But here's the difference. The difference is not from a play style. But here's the difference. Here's the difference. Here's the difference. When they got swept in the playoffs in '98, when they got swept in the playoffs in '99, that got turned down.
That's true.
So we completely jumped the gun on that. Completely. But when they started winning, then it became an actual conversation. Can they be as good as Jabbar and Magic? Can they win championships as much as Jabbar and Magic did? They only made that comparison in the beginning because it was a big and it was a small. That was the only reason why they made that comparison. But when they weren't performing in the playoffs like Jabbar and Magic did, when Magic showed up and when Jabbar was playing, when they weren't performing in the playoffs like those dudes were, that thing got turned down really quick. And they didn't disrespect them like that.
So can I ask you a question? So now, knowing what we know today, would you say that's crazy to compare Shaq and Kobe to Kareem and Magic? Is that wild to say?
After what they've done,
I wouldn't say that's crazy. I think that better. So
I think the best, but here's my point though. So what I was trying to do is I'm trying to predict. I'm trying to be a fortune teller. That's all I'm trying to say.
I get with that.
Because like I'm gonna be called crazy now, but let's just say Jokic and Jamal Murray wins 3 rings in the next 5 years. Looking back, you'd be like, he was right. He was one of the first ones to say before it happened. Like you're called crazy because it's not.
You're a visionary. You're trying to say you're a visionary.
I'm trying to be a visionary a little bit. I'm just trying to be, but you know what I mean. I'm getting
You got.
How am I being weird?
Just
How am I
do it.
being weird?
Because they haven't won it.
Hold on, talk on Mookie. What's your name, Mookie? How you say your name, Mookie?
That's
How am I being weird?
Because they haven't won anything, so you making
predictions
that they're gonna win it.
So we don't do.
Hold on, let me talk. Let me talk, man.
We don't normally do predictions in basketball.
Talking right now, bro. First of all, they up 2-1. Hold on. They're up 2-1, right?
Right.
The series is not won in those 3 games, right? So, like I said, it takes first to 4, right? Yeah. It's a 7-game series, right? And to sit there and think that this series is just over, you trying to sit there and make a prediction talking about they're going to be the next, Shaq and Kobe, bro. It's 2 different playing styles. It's different.
I never compared their playing styles.
Well, you compare them. You're comparing them, bro.
You're acting like we don't. Time out.
We
don't compete.
So you telling me they're going to
all the time in the NBA?
You're not comparing their playing styles. Well, you're basically saying that they're going to win just like them.
Like I said,
actually, he was
he's saying they could be the next big man guard dynasty.
Guard dude,
that's
it.
Saying.
It could be they could only win 2 chips in 5 years. I'm just saying, it's not that hard to understand. Like when we compare older players to current players, we just go in this biased fantasy world. Like, how dare you put Kobe and Shaq? I'm not saying they're the same skill level, brother. Just chill out. Just like how when. I forgot who brought it up. When LeBron was in high school, people were comparing him to Jordan, Kobe, and people were calling that crazy. How dare you do that? It's a prediction. And looking back, now, are they crazy for saying that before he even did anything? No, because they were right. So I'm just making a prediction. That's all I'm saying. Like, acting like we don't do this in basketball all the time. It's just prediction. I know it's Kobe, who's an all-time great. He's my favorite player. Shaq is the top 10 player. I know that. I'm not taking rose-colored glasses off. Get your feelings out of it. I know you watched them when you were a kid. They got you into basketball. Relax. All I'm saying is a possibility that the best player in the game and the top 25 duo could win multiple championships. That's not so crazy to say.
Anybody that won when Giannis won a championship, right? People sat there and said that they can win multiple championships. So
but I didn't say that. Hold
on. You making this prediction and shit like that.
Mookie, no.
Like say some airtime.
You keep bringing up the Bucks. I never said the Bucks. Listen, though, one of the points I brought up, I said that one of my reasons for thinking is because they're so young. The Bucks aren't that young. There's some young team.
Giannis was 26.
Giannis, but that's it though.
Yeah,
Middleton was like 29. Like that's very similar ages to Jokic.
No, 25. Yeah. No, but
Jokic is 28 and Jamal Murray's like 27. Like it's pretty similar.
But I brought up Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. I'm talking about their whole core is young. That's the point. So this is going on for multiple years. Their core is pretty young. That's why, because the Bucks core is young. Giannis is young, and Middleton was 29. But the core, Aaron Gordon is pretty young. Michael Porter Jr. is pretty young. Shit, Chris, my fault for cursing, but Chris Braun, he's pretty young. He might come. I'm just saying the difference is I wasn't saying with the Bucks because Jrue Holiday, Chris Middleton, they're at their primes. They're 29, 28.
But you're looking to a point where you just looking at how they say the Nuggets won the championship, and you just looking to the point saying that they're just the only team in the West that's just going to get better. Like there's other teams in the West that's going to get better. They're going to get more experience. They're going to add more talent to the team. So just to sit there and say that just sit there and say that they're just going to win 3 championships or repeat going this run like the Shaq Kobe Lakers, bro.
I didn't say
it's a bad assessment.
I didn't say they would. I didn't say they would. I say they could. It's possible.
Anybody
not they would. I didn't come in and say they win it.
Really doing it, bro. Anybody that won a championship.
So why is exactly?
It's easy to come up with that conclusion because they
just killed yourself. Anyone could do it.
Of winning the championship. When Steph Curry won the championship last year, people sat there and thought that they can repeat. People sat there and thought that if Steph Curry win 3 straight, we might put him in the conversation of Jordan, put him in that conversation with Kareem as being a top 3 player of all time. The same for Giannis Antetokounmpo. They sat there and said there's a new dynasty building over there in Milwaukee when he won a championship as well. So anybody can sit there and come up with these fantasy land ideas talking about these guys can 2-peat or 3-peat as well. But like I said, bro, we just got to see it happen. I'm not on this point of sitting there saying, oh, these guys can duplicate what Shaq and Kobe do, bro, because it's like if you're not comparing playing style, you're comparing that they can win on the same way, and I just don't think it can do because that's how the league can get better.
Right. I'll come back once Devin wins.
Come back when that happens.
All right, fellas. Next super chat. Well said, OG, People are saying Jokic is better than Kobe/Wilt. They're saying his finals run is greater than any of LeBron's, and he will be in the GOAT debate soon. Any tips to stay sane?
Well, the first tip to stay sane is never argue with an idiot, because an idiot will bring you down to their level and they will beat you. So don't do that. That's one of the ways to stay sane. That's number one. Number two, if you bring, let me see that super chat again, Ron. So number two, Joker's run. Joker is better than Kobe and Wilt. His finals run? No, I don't think so, because that 2001 finals run that.
No, it's Jokic is better.
He's a better player than Kobe and Wilt.
He's a better player than Kobe and Wilt, and his finals run is better than any of LeBron.
Two different points.
Okay, so there's nobody who's saying that Joker is better.
No one's saying it. No one's saying it.
Okay, there's probably people saying he's better than Wilt.
Let me say his name properly.
No one is saying he's better than Kobe. I don't.
That is a lie. And listen, once Miami wins in 6, you won't have to do that anymore. Eating 6.
Silent Presence said, so it's Jimmy is better than D Wade versus Jokic/Denver Nuggets dynasty on if one of them wins. Sounds like a great poll, Ron.
Did we freak the hell?
Huh?
Yeah, I get it.
That's the two agendas. Either way, whichever team.
Those are the two agendas. If with Jimmy is if they win and he's Finals MVP. Don't forget.
No, he came in. If you rewind the video, listen to what he said when he came in. Just rewind it to the first part. That's why I cut him off. He wasn't saying, he was basically like trying to say, hey man, I can see these guys in the same mold as Kobe and Shaq. I ain't putting that there. I'm not saying that. Bro.
Next super chat that we got is from MP13. He said, if they don't bite the bait on that pump fake, Jimmy's offense looks real average. He's looked absolutely lost on whether or not he actually wants to score.
He had 28 last night, so I don't know what he's talking about.
Eric on 24 shots. Eric Gordon got that man in the box.
Hey, listen, and guess what? He shot over league average. He shot 48% from the field last night.
Yep, he did.
That's not bad. See, this is when you a small dog and I'm a big homie. You understand what I'm saying? You little dog and I'm big homie. This one you got to understand basketball. Everybody's not going to the free throw line 10, 11, 12 times a game, sir. So sometimes
Jimmy normally does.
Hold on.
Isn't that Jimmy's game to go to the line?
Let me say this. Sometimes if you're a guard and you're shooting jumpers, sir, right? And if you shoot 40, let's say Chilltown's a guard. So Chilltown is shooting 47% on jumpers. That's great. I'll take that from Chilltown every single night. Because your greatest players, when James Harden was averaging 36, what was he shooting from the field? Like 44, 45%? It just looked good because he was going to the free throw line like almost 10 or 11 times a game. See what I'm saying? And nobody called out that percentage. You understand? So you got to think about that. You got to think about the percentages of what you're shooting. You know, AI averaged 30 for a big part of his career, shooting 42% from the field. You know, you got certain dudes that are able to put up those big numbers, like guys like KD can shoot jump shots on 50% from the field. Jordan did that. LeBron doesn't do that. He shoots more of his field goal percentage, high percentage at the basket.
Closer to the rim.
His mid ranges are like in the 36% for his career. So you guys we gotta remember.
I just hear a whole lot of excuses for a player that you like, because
no, it's not excuses. Hold on.
Because if KD, because KD, if someone like KD shot 42% scoring 13 points in a game one.
Been this player, sir.
Listen, like I said,
he has.
Okay, so hold on. How am I making the excuses for a dude who's always been this player, but for some reason, his team is always in the Final Four? But since he's been with the Miami Heat, Heat, every year his team has been in the Final Four.
You're bringing up team accomplishments. I'm talking about Jimmy Butler.
No. He's the leader.
Jimmy Butler's been struggling. Okay, Jimmy Butler is not doing what he has done in the previous season because Aaron Gordon has him in the box.
Why wasn't they doing that without him, sir? I want you to answer that question. Since Jimmy is all and not this and not that, why wasn't they doing that without him? Hey, Fluent. Why wasn't Miami?
What's currently going on? I'm talking about the past and team accomplishments.
Hold on, sir. Fluent. Why wasn't Miami going to the conference finals and the NBA finals the years before Jimmy Butler went over there?
Because they weren't good enough.
Thank you. Now, what was the difference, Chilltown, from Jimmy going to that team, and now that team is going to multiple NBA finals and conference finals? 2 NBA finals, 3 conference finals in 4 years.
He gives them a tougher
presence.
Bro. He gives them a leader.
You're big enough pass.
Forget
what he did in the past. Talking about these finals, and he's struggling. Yes, the same finals that he's shooting 36% in 2 games, and the 1 game he shoots 45%. It takes him 24 shots to get 28 points.
Hold on,
Jimmy Butler is not producing what he's doing the previous series, and that's okay. He's not
with another game in Miami.
Again, you're bringing up team accomplishment. I'm talking about Jimmy Butler solely. Aaron Gordon doing a great job with Jimmy Butler.
Who's the leader of the Miami Heat?
Jimmy Butler.
Okay, well, shut the hell up then.
What does that prove? Your leader is not doing as good as he was.
I'm gonna say it again. Hold on. I'm gonna say it to you again. It proves that with Jimmy Butler on the court, Janet Jackass, that the team is a championship level team. Without him on the court, they're not. Now put that in your pipe and smoke it, son.
Oh my God.
It's funny you say that.
It's simply hold on.
It's funny you say that. It's funny you say that. And I'm not a big stats guy. But you say, no. But wait, let me finish. You say that, but why has Bam had a better plus minus in every game than since Jimmy Butler is so when he's on the court is so much better?
You say you're not a stats guy, but you bring up stats.
Plus minus, what the fuck?
Right.
I'm just asking.
You're not a stats guy, but you bring up stats.
I'm just asking because you want to bring all
Bro,
these
are we box score debating?
Finals?
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes.
I'm gonna say this to you again.
What are we debating?
Let me ask you this question in
Plus
Shaq.
minus.
Hold on. Let me ask you this
Very
question.
important stat.
Here's a question I ask you right now, Shallow. Shallow, if Jimmy Butler is not on the Heat, are they in the NBA Finals?
No.
Okay, then shut the hell up then. Ron,
that's still answer my question.
Ron,
Jimmy Butler is struggling because Aaron Gordon has him in the box.
Heat last night, they're starting 5 or minus like 69.
Thank you. This dude is amateur hour. Get him out of here, Ron.
In the fourth quarter before last night, and they were minus
hour. Get him out of here, Ron. Go to the next question.
So Bandit had a plus 17 plus minus. So that's
put in work for all these years to let a rookie like you come up here and talk. Well, you crazy as hell. You better be ready to run.
Your favorite player is struggling. Sorry to say it to you, brother. Your favorite player is struggling. It's okay. It happens. Yo, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Your favorite player that you like to make excuses for and cap for, he's struggling. It's okay. Every great player struggles. Every great player struggles. Your favorite player is struggling against Aaron Gordon. That's okay. It happens. It happens to the best. I know you make excuses. I know you make excuses for him.
All right, y'all. All right. Okay. Look. We all heard you. Shiloh, we know his favorite player struggling, and Ticket, we know you will rip him apart limb from limb. All right, let's move on. Chad Caldwell said, thank you, Fluent, for understanding points people make.
You're very welcome, Chad.
Hey, Ron, he gonna ask the question. I don't use that. But then when I asked him why they in the fight, is Jimmy Butler the reason? He said, yeah. Shut
up. You good, Sean?
Brandon McCanny said, y'all compared Booker and KD to Shaq and Kobe
we already read that.
And they haven't won anything.
We already read that.
We talked about that. Mm-hmm.
T-Rev said, is Jimmy Butler better than Allen Iverson? Iverson got a game on those Lakers.
We're going to get Sandman Sims out of here, bro. No,
hold on.
Jimmy Butler, hold on. Jimmy Butler's doing better than Jimmy Butler's doing better than what AI did. Yes, he is. Jimmy Butler's been in 2 NBA finals. AI been in 1.
But is he better than Allen Iverson?
No, I'm saying he's doing more than what AI did.
And I'm asking a different question.
I don't think he's a better. Hold on.
Is he a better basketball player?
I don't think he's a. Well, hold on. You know what? I take that away. I do think Jimmy's a better basketball player. Because you know why? I think he's a better player on both ends of the court. I think he's a way better defensive player than AI was. And I think that even though AI he's a good offensive player, AI wasn't as efficient of an offensive player. He was a high-volume offensive player who can get to his spots. Jimmy is a more...
Mookie, why? How come when Tickets say that, how come... Because it sounded to me like you don't care that much about the defensive side of the basketball. Why is that?
No, I do. I actually value that. But I'm just saying, like, to sit there said Jimmy is a better babasketball player AI just because
all around he is.
Hey, that's fine. We don't need to debate.
Hold on, no. But Mars, all around he is. We have to count.
I'm not arguing with you.
I'm saying, but we take defense out of the equation. Why is that?
Yeah, we do, yo.
Who took defense out of the equation?
No. I ain't saying you, Mars. I'm saying Dookie draws.
He said, "Why do people?" He said, "Why do people do that?"
Yeah. Why?
No. I didn't take defense out of the equation.
AI led the league.
Hold on. I'm not taking defense out of the equation. I'm just sitting there saying, just to sit there and say that that's the only point on why Jimmy Butler is better than AI is just.
So what's the separator with Iverson?
He also said Jimmy's more efficient. He
right, and Jimmy had the same guts as AI had.
Why is hold on, Ticket? Why is Allen Iverson better than Jimmy Butler? What's the separator, Mook?
I think the separator between the two is the scoring abilities and AI's ability to actually play. First of all, AI was undersized. He was an undersized guard, and the fact that he played in an era where it was tougher defenses, less spacing, a slow pace. You factor in all of that, and the fact that he played on offenses where it was not a lot of scoring threats, out there. On top of that, he had to take about damn near 35, 36 shots a night just for the team to actually be a cohesive offense, right? Jimmy Butler is playing in the era, right, where you had guys that could actually score, space the floor out, shoot, guys that can get their own shot as well. So if we're looking at the collection of talent, speak of the offense collection of talent, bro, the way that Jimmy Butler is able to do that, I think if you factor in the fact that if you put an AI in this era, he'd be even more of a better basketball player, better of an offensive scorer, better of a legit guy that can score from all three levels as well. And also, AI was tenacious at playing the passing lanes as well. So you put all of that in the fact, I won't sit there and say Jimmy Butler is better than AI.
Ron, leave that on the screen. Jason the Kid said, ticket is cap. Iverson's way better. Jimmy had more help. That's a lot. Iverson had dudes who were all. Iverson had the 6th man of the year. AI had a defensive player of the year. Janet Jackass. Don't play this game.
When I use this for the James Harden conversation.
Put it back on the screen, Ron. Ron, I am going to.
Mars said no to this though.
Ron, I am going to Nasir Jones. Put that back on the screen, Ron. So
how about this? How about you wait till Jimmy Butler ends his career and then you can debate it.
No,
he's better right now. He's already.
He says he has more help right now. Fluent. AI did have a defensive player of the year in Dikembe Mutombo. He did have a 6th man of the year, Aaron McKee. Right?
Yes.
Now we know that he had dudes who weren't great offensively.
Oh, hold on, Ticket. Don't stop there. Don't stop there. He had the coach of the year.
Coach of the year, Larry Brown.
Don't leave that out.
Right. So we talking about he did have those pieces with him. Now Jimmy has Bam, who's solid, but Bam, to me, all across the board, Bam ain't Dikembe. Everybody got quiet.
We're not gonna argue.
Allen Iverson never beat Neymar 1-on-1. Okay, next.
Right.
Damn. That is
I'm
true.
with you, Fluent.
That is true.
I just we're starting to
I think AI is better than Jimmy Butler.
I think so too. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is my problem. We're starting to slightly overrate Jimmy Butler. Like,
no, we're not overrating Jimmy Butler. Man, been in 2 NBA finals.
Just slightly.
It was over.
Yeah.
But I'm the Allen Iverson hater, so I guess I need to take Jimmy.
You don't hey, Fluent. You never overrate a guy who's always got his team in the mix, and his team wasn't even supposed to be there. You can't.
Shallow, wait a minute, man. The reason why guys are great is because of what their team did and because of how important he was to that success. So when we talk about Jordan, the reason why Jordan was as awesome as Jordan was the reason why we talk about Jordan being as awesome as he was. They won NBA championships. That had a lot to do with Jordan. Right. The reason why we talk about James, as good as James was as a player, as an all-league defender, as a scorer, but the reason why we talk about him, championships, all NBA, being an all-league defender, a lot of that stuff factored in to his team's success. So when we talk about a player being as awesome as he is, a lot of that stuff is factored in by what his team did.
And I agree with that, but I just feel like with that, there's so much variables that come into team success. You got to have no injury. It's so much things out. So
right, you get a lot of stuff to go your way. 100%. You do.
So we're comparing who's better. I just like talking about actually who's better, who does what better.
Okay, hey, hold on. Jimmy's a better mid-range shooter. Jimmy's a better mid-range. Hold on.
I get that it makes for good debates, but when you want to talk about who was better, I know I'm just going to ruin the show. We might as well stop. You can't, because each one had played in a different system, was asked to do certain things, had a different role. So it's okay. Anyways, go ahead.
Hold on, Fluent. Respectfully, my brother, this is easy. Hold on. Who was a better 3-point shooter? Jimmy. In any system. Who was a better mid-range shooter? Jimmy. AI was a better slasher and driver. They both were the same as far as creation. They both average around 6 assists.
Nah,
Jimmy's
AI is a better playmaker than Jimmy.
No.
AI is
both average around the same amount of assists. Jimmy's
AI is a better passer. He's a better playmaker.
Hold on, but that's influenced by who's around them, right? Like Jimmy's getting it out to 3-point shooters who it's an easy assist. Boom, he shoots.
AI is passing to Tyrone Hill.
AI is passing it into Tyrone Hill, who's like flinging it off the backboard. So
so the defense.
But Tyrone Hill's floor space.
So then the defense ain't close there, right? Fluent. The defense not close, right? Jimmy's a way better defender, right?
Jimmy clears defensively.
Yes. Jimmy is better defensively. Yes, Jimmy is better.
But I think AI is much better offensively, bro.
Not much better.
Does Allen Iverson
is big enough to wrap
Allen
AI
Iverson
over?
clear Jimmy Butler as an offensive player? Not a scorer, as an offensive player.
Yeah,
Allen Iverson clear Jimmy Butler.
I think it's close.
Hold on, but this is my one question to y'all, Fluent. How does AI, and I love AI, how does he just clear Jimmy when Jimmy's a better mid-range shooter? He's a better three-point shooter. AI's a better ball handler and a better slasher. How does that clear Jimmy offensively?
Because I think it's about what you do. Jimmy Butler's not a great shooter himself. Being better than AI is
but Jimmy, hold on. But Jimmy,
that bar's pretty low, being better.
Hold on, Mars. You and Lowe come up here and kill AI for his field goal percentage, which is around 41, 42%.
Yeah, AI wasn't efficient. I'm not about to try and argue AI is efficient.
What I'm saying, hold on.
About to do that.
And also the same about who brings up error and how AI had no space in.
No, you're not here. Hold on.
When it's against James Harden, yes. When it's against James
Harden. But now
I want you to know, T-Rev, you bringing this up, yo. You nasty for this. I don't want you to know that, T-Rev. Bringing this up, you nasty for this. But keep going. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, no. My whole point is this.
I didn't even get to answer.
AI was a scorer. He was a, how you call it? He was a not an official, but he was a
volume scorer.
Volume scorer, right?
Volume shooter.
So you just hold on.
Yeah.
You just and this I'm gonna leave it at this, Ron, because I'm gonna put this dude 6 feet under. You just buried Jimmy Butler for doing the same thing AI did his whole career.
No, okay, my point.
Hold on.
But here's my point though. You don't mention it. No,
he just said you praising Jimmy when Jimmy's taking what he took last game, Fluent.
24 shots to get 28.
That
was like AI's like regular.
AI did that. AI did worse than that.
Damn.
AI would take 26 shots. You
yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
And the point I'm trying, no,
better.
I hate that pound for pound. I hate people say that. That's so annoying, pound for pound. But Ticket, that you bringing it up makes no sense because again, I'll bring it up because you don't like to mention Jimmy's flaws or bad games. You sugarcoat it. When it comes to other players, yes, you do. But that's a different conversation. I'm not going back to that. I'm not going back to that. Yeah, I'm not going back to that. AI is better than Jimmy.
Go to the super chat, Ron. He was a liar. Me and Chilltown was cooking Jimmy just last week when you wasn't here.
AI was better than Jimmy. Move on.
You can't be a part-time contributor.
AI was better than Jimmy.
We never heard of you. You come up in here running your mouth.
You hear me now, though. You hear me now, though.
Bell, that means next super chat. Sorry, that's the bell. Next super chat.
Yo, fellas, I do want to say that although I don't think that Jimmy Butler is better than Iverson or D-Wade, I do just want to say though, I am happy that Jimmy's getting put in these comparisons because I love Jimmy as a person, love him as a player, love him as a ceiling raiser or floor raiser, whatever you want to call it. And I think Jimmy deserves it just based on what he's done. Okay. Moving along. Alan R. said Zion has beaten the milkman allegations. Hip name Slickback said crazy take. Kobe had a way better lineup than Jamal.
Yes, he did.
Paul George clears.
What Tone? Why is it? Robert Horry better than anybody of their guys? Robert Horry is better than Jeff Green. Robert Horry is better than a young Brown.
I thought it was talking about his hair.
Derek.
Me too. I thought
it was about his hair.
When he said lineup, I thought about line. That's why I just
I thought it was about his hair.
I thought it was crazy for saying.
That's why I said Paul George clears.
Yeah, I
thought it was lineup.
Did I miss something? Oh,
yeah, chill, you're too old. You know what the time
that's probably that's old.
You don't know what milkman is in that lineup.
When I think about the milkman, I think about somebody that's sneaking into your crib. That's who the milkman is.
Milkman.
That's because you heard that joke from Jordan where he said my dad was 5'10", my mom was 5'4", and they're like,
right. That's what I hear all the time. Like, go take a look at the milkman.
Do you know what a snow bunny is?
I do know what a snow bunny is.
So that's kind of like
okay.
Yeah.
Hey, people of my melanin say that's just a girl who hangs out at the ski lodge. I don't think that's what you mean. No. Next.
NLF said, "Wait, so ticket is Jimmy a top 5 shooting guard all time?"
Jesus Christ.
He's a small forward.
Not yet. He's a Hall of Famer though.
Is he
Definitely a Hall of Famer.
Yes, he's definitely a Hall of Famer. We ain't gotta ask that question, Fluent.
Yes, he is, Tom.
Man led 2 teams to the NBA Finals.
The basketball Hall of Fame.
No. Mookie said he's a small forward, and I said, "Is he? Is he a small forward? Or is he a shooting guard?"
He was
used to,
but as the NBA got smaller, he's moved to the 3.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Is he 3? Oh no, right now he's a 3. Yeah, he's a 3 now.
Yeah, he plays a 3 now. He was a 2 like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
If T-Mac's a Hall of Famer and Jimmy don't get in, I'm smacking everybody on the board. No, go ahead.
T-Mac's mad than Jim, by the way.
Pimp named Slickback said Julius Randle has won more than Jalen Green. Mars.
Cool.
Mars, I just want to say I'm 110% behind you with your Julius Randle slander. He's terrible.
It's not slander if it's true. By the way. It's not slander if it's true. It's not slander.
Right.
And by the way, he in New York, so
yes, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, you a Knicks fan?
He would make a lot more sense.
He's a Lakers fan.
Julius Randle would make a lot more sense. Didn't he play in New Orleans? He would make a lot more sense in New Orleans than Zion up in New York. See, that is a
off the bench, right? Off the bench.
That is a good trade.
Off the bench.
I don't want to see Brandon Ingram next to Julius Randle.
Julius
Brandon Ingram don't deserve that.
Hey, yo, son, why they be calling everybody son in New York, son?
Son, I don't know.
Oh no, B.
I don't know, son. I don't know.
But shout out to all the New York followers that's watching the show.
You feel me,
son? Word to mother.
Okay, you feel me?
When you say son is like your homie. That's who it is. Like, what up, son?
Nah,
it's like bro.
That's what it is.
Word to mother.
When I was
say
living in LA, everybody was cuz when I was living in LA. So maybe it's just
son is it.
When you
say we dare gotta move on. We dare gotta move on.
Bell means next super chat.
Keontae Henson said, "How would a Shaq versus Jokic matchup go?"
I'm putting every penny I own on Shaquille O'Neal.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong. I love
155.
I love Joker.
You love him.
Shaq would have ate that boy down.
Chill town. You would have never heard of Jokic if Shaq was around.
Not even close.
You would have never heard of Jokic.
Here's the problem. Hold on, Tone. The problem that we have with Joker is as good as Joker is right now, and the fact that he's probably going to win the NBA championship, the fact that he's going to be compared to the other big guys who he's not better than. That's going to be the problem. So he's not better than those guys from in the past. So that's the comparison that people are going to have on him, and it's not going to be close. So as good as I think Joker is, and as much as I enjoy watching him, he's phenomenal. Shaq would have ate his lunch.
Chilltown, we would have never heard of him.
The problem with Jokic is he's phenomenal, but he's playing right now in a league that has like no centers. And so it's hard to compare him. I'm not saying he'd get destroyed by all the old centers. I'm just saying it's hard because there's no really
comparison. There's nothing to compare.
Yeah,
sure.
I can all destroy that dude, Fluent. Cut the cap.
Who was Shaq's comp in the 2000s at a big man position? Obviously, the 90s had it, like no,
right.
But in the 2000s, it was Duncan.
Gone.
Other than Duncan,
it was like Duncan,
Rashid, Weber, all those guys.
Alonzo, Ben Wallace.
Yeah,
well, the game was moving. There
was less than in the 90s for sure.
Yeah,
it's been going this
way. I think it was still more back in the 2000s.
Oh, 100%.
I feel like Joker's like biggest competition this playoffs was like AD. Really, like that's his biggest.
AD is competition.
Who's the second best center? Who's the second best center in the league? If Jokic is one and Embiid, okay.
Yeah, then it's Jokic. Then Anthony Davis.
Yeah,
Anthony Davis is a reluctant 5. He doesn't want to be
he's a 5 by force, not really. Other than AD, then you're looking at Bam.
Then
undersized
Montes.
It falls off.
How much y'all think Shaq will average in this era, bro?
No, see that? No, he no, because again,
Shaq would get obliterated defensively.
How much did Joel average this season?
Here's the thing.
30 and 11.
Mars. What did you just say, Mars?
Shaq
the
would get
game plan, the
obliterated
game plan,
defensively in
the game
today's
plan.
Shaq
because
averaged like 35, 36.
The game plan would have him scoring 28 to 34 points, but that's because it's the game plan. They're not just going to dump it into him, and it's not like he was going to get significantly more shots.
How much points Joel average?
Stop lying, Fluent. Stop lying, bro.
No, that's factual.
Fluent. When you have a Fluent. When you have a player as dominant as Shaq, you're throwing him the ball. Fluent. When you have a player, let's just take a prime Shaq and put him in this era. I don't care what offense you're running, you're throwing him the ball. For example, you remember how the game was, and then Curry came along. They changed the whole game because of how Curry was playing, right?
No, they didn't. That's a lie. That's a lie.
Fluent. They did. Fluent. Everybody started shooting threes from half court when Curry came around. Fluent. Stop lying.
That's a lie.
That's not a lie.
Houston was doing it before.
No. I said
Houston was doing it before. Phoenix was doing it before.
Miami was doing it. Orlando was doing it.
San Antonio was shooting a lot of threes.
It's a
lie.
It's a lie. Steph Curry changed the game. That's a lie.
Yes, that's a lie. Yes,
it's I think it's overstated. I think Steph Curry accelerated what was happening.
Curry was already happening. Yeah,
Curry, Clay, and to a certain extent, Mark Jackson / Steve Kerr became the poster boys, and more so Curry than anybody else, to say, hey, you can win playing this style. But that style was in process of happening years before.
I think they accelerated. They accelerated the process.
He accelerated.
Miami was doing it when they ran Chris Bosh at the 5. Orlando was doing it when they had 4 out 1 in.
It's not like the league was shooting. It's not like the league was shooting 10 threes a game, and all of a sudden Curry came and started shooting 30 a game, and everyone went, "Oh, this is going to work." No, they literally went 12, 16, 18, 22, 24. Even Curry himself went from shooting 4, 6, 8, 12 a game. Like even his progression for his career went up every single year. So again, he's the poster child. He accelerated. He was the first one who said, "Oh, you could win this way." But that was already happening. That was already happening.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing that changed.
Hold on, let me ask you something. Hold on. Y'all don't think Shaq averages will be even better than it was in 2000 because now you're playing with better spacing, more shooters on the court. I just say whatever every time on a double team, especially he's in the post, he's stronger.
Shaq would probably been averaging around 30.
Whatever Joel Embiid averaged, add like 6 points to that. That's what I say.
39. So Shaq averaged 39. Oh my God,
38.
I don't think that's crazy. Hey, that's not.
Well, Joel averaged so many points because he was like an 85% free throw.
I was going to say that.
That's the difference.
So you can say plus
money from the strike. Only that
minus 3 at the free throw line.
Yeah. Shaq would take a lot more. But Shaq would be dominant offensively in today's game. Defensively, he'd get torched. But offensively,
high pick and roll. Yeah, they're drawing him out.
And
don't forget, he can't just stand in the paint anymore, right? There's the defensive 3 seconds.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So he's getting abused defensively, but offensively,
he's going to dominate offensively. Absolutely.
All right, fellas, moving along.
35 and 15 for Shaq.
Jay Bird said, "Don't even say it when they win either, though. Just let this duo be their own thing instead of comparing Shaq and Kobe. Could they win multiple? Absolutely. However, it's crazy to compare one of the best duos all time already."
No, that's the greatest. Hold on, outside of Jordan and Pippen, that's the greatest. That's the second greatest duo in the history of basketball.
I think the best. I think it's the best. Yeah, I think it's better than Shaq.
It can't be better. Hold on, it can't be better because Jordan and Pippen won 6 championships.
Hold on. Take it.
I'm just saying the two.
Skill.
Go ahead, Miles.
I'm just saying the two players of Shaq and Kobe collectively are better than Jordan and Pippen were.
So Miles, what your logic is that these two guys collectively are better at basketball than what Jordan and Pippen are.
Yes.
But Miles,
but Jordan out of those duos was the better overall basketball.
Yeah, Jordan's the best player.
But Scottie Pippen is what brings it down a lot.
Yeah.
Although you can argue Pippen was the best player.
Hold on, Fluent. Didn't Mars tell you yesterday, Fluent, that Scottie Pippen was the best player in the world? Didn't he tell you yesterday? No. He said he wasn't trolling. He said he was real, right?
Yeah, I was. You're right. Jordan and Scottie, they clear. You're right. Yeah.
If Scottie was the best, hold on. But if Scottie was,
Jordan's the worst. Yeah, Jordan's the worst.
Yeah, he was horrible.
What?
So it goes Scottie Pippen's number 1, Shaq, Kobe, Jordan.
This nigga trolling, bro.
Bro.
He's trolling. Hell yeah. Bro.
All right, since we've reached the troll portion of the show,
this nigga trolling.
Since we've reached the troll portion of the show, let's go ahead and jump into this Underdog.
And by the way, Shaq and Kobe are the best duo ever. But yes, keep going.
App that we have right now, chat. As you guys know, I put some polls up. You guys made some choices, so we're gonna go ahead and follow through that. If you don't know what the Underdog Fantasy app is, just click that link right at the top of the chat, enter the promo code, the panel, and just follow what we do. Just follow what we do, baby. You can win some cold hard cash. All right, Euro, you ready to do this? All right, first up, we have none other than Aaron Gordon. I asked you guys, would Aaron Gordon go higher or lower on points and rebounds at 18.5? Mars calls you guys higher merchants, and you guys are living up to your name. They went with higher. Next, we have who do we have? We had Gabe Vincent going higher or lower on points, 12.5. Said higher or lower? You guessed it. Higher.
He sold me yesterday. He's the only one who didn't hit out of everyone.
I told y'all he was going lower. Y'all didn't listen to me.
It's because the refs gave him 3 terrible fouls.
But I told y'all yesterday.
Nah, he would have hit. He would have hit.
I said yesterday he was going lower and Jokic was going higher on points. I told y'all that. You said Jokic was going to have a quiet scoring night. No, I said like 20 or 23 higher on points because they were playing in one-on-one. That's what I told you yesterday.
But yesterday, I remember when we were predicting the game.
Hold on, bro.
Everyone rewind the tape. Go back to yesterday's show.
I told you he was going higher. I got it right here, Mar. I got it right here.
I know what you said because when that guy was picking, you said Jokic was going to go 1-on-1. But when we was predicting game 3,
that was later on.
You said Jokic is going to have a quiet night, maybe 20 or 23 points.
For the money, I bet higher. For the money, I bet higher.
Oh yeah,
I was just talking stuff later. I was just trolling later on.
Oh, you're trolling.
Oh, Ticket is trolling now. Wow.
Hey, chat. You never know what you're gonna get.
I was trolling later on.
All right. Next, we had Max Strus at 8.5 with total points and rebounds.
Told y'all he was going lower. They ain't want to listen. I told y'all yesterday that food was going low.
It might be higher, bro.
Max Strus with the chat went with higher in total points and rebounds.
He's gonna have 10 in the first quarter. 10 points in the first quarter.
He might.
And last but not least,
he might get hot for 3, but the looks that I seen, he can. Hold
on, this for next game or this for last game?
No, this next game.
Oh no! Damn no.
And last but not least, I asked Fluent and Chill about a couple players, and they both said Braun. But unfortunately, on the Underdog app, they didn't have Christian Braun, but they did have Bruce Brown. And that's who we gonna rock with. Doodoo Brown. Let's go. Doodoo Brown at just points. We had him at 9.5.
Higher.
Lower.
Higher. Doodoo Brown's the guy that gets you 11, 12 points. Higher.
Well,
I say higher because he's the one guy you can depend on as far as being a role player. He's been one guy as well as Christian Braun.
It seems like the chat is agreeing with you, Ticket, because they chose higher.
I would go higher. I go higher with the 3.5 rebounds.
All right, Euro, go ahead and throw a smooth 50 piece on this. 50 piece gets us 500. I like that. Times 10%. Okay. Well, that's where we at. You can go ahead and submit that. Chat, we'll be talking about this come Monday. But as for last night's game and previous tickets that we did, check this out. This was my man Crooked Cat. This isn't what we did, but this is Crooked Cat, even though we did make do the same contest up here. But Cricket Cat had Joker going higher than 28.5 points. Jimmy points and rebounds and assists lower than 38.5, and Michael Porter Jr. lower than 14.5.
Send my money, man.
He had 2 points.
Yo, hold on. Send me my cut, Cricket Cat. I gave that fool all them answers yesterday. Send my cut, bro. Send my cut, dog.
MPJ had 2 points.
I told y'all he was going under. All y'all said, "Oh no,
that one layup he made that was just lucky as hell." That's the only points he scored.
Hey, how much did he win, Ron?
He won 300.
He won 300.
Yeah, on top of the 400 that we put in his account.
I thought you said he bet 300.
No, he won.
He should have.
Yeah, send him 150, Cricket Cat.
Definitely sitting behind Ticket during the test.
You want 50%
going the other
commission?
way. He was going the other way, Chilltown.
You hear that? You heard that, Jay? 50% commission he wants.
Bro, I gave him the picks.
I don't think the mob charge you.
He was on listen to you.
I gotta get ticket to be my agent.
But I was about to say, I don't think the mob charge 50%.
I told you out your damn mind if you go over on Michael Porter Jr.
Shout out to
he's so inconsistent. Yeah, to bet on him. Really, he's up and down.
Nah, he's down this series.
Yeah.
And before we move on into the super chat, once again, just want to let you guys know that tomorrow is a very special day on the Underdog Fantasy platform because Player's Choice has their very own special. All Jamal Murray has to do is score a point. All he has to do is literally get to the free throw line and make a free throw, and you automatically win that stat line in the contest. So you guys make sure you download the app and make sure you take advantage of this. Also, whatever you do, put into your account, whether it's $10, $20, $50, $100, it will be matched up to $100. So go ahead and do that. And also, it's a $400 giveaway tomorrow. All you have to do is take a picture of your just user profile, send it to the Player's Choice Instagram, and somebody will get their name picked out of a hat, just like Crooked Cat and just like Grande Jones, who's going to come on the show tomorrow and, well, get his earnings. All right, let's go ahead and keep it pushing. Walker said Shaq would get destroyed defensively in this era.
Yep.
Yeah, we agree. We agree on that.
He would definitely struggle in this era.
I would be, man.
It's not about the big. It's not about the big.
It's not about the big ticket. One of the major problems Shaq always had a difficult time. That's why the Jazz used to beat him because Shaq couldn't cover the pick and roll. So now,
the same things you say Jokic struggles with, which he does, moving his feet out on the perimeter, guarding the pick and roll. Shaq would get torched the exact same way.
Unless he took a page out of someone else's book there and stayed in shape and worked on his lateral quicks, then he would have been okay.
I think Shaq at his healthiest is still slow footed though.
Saying it's true,
but Shaq at his
early years, he was thin and in shape. Shaq could move a lot, real good, and Shaq was great with the basketball.
So then we're not putting peak Shaq in today's game. We're putting early Shaq in today's game.
Hold on, early Shaq was a monster too. Now,
no, he was, but that's not the Shaq we were talking about.
Yeah, that's not I'm saying. Early Shaq had quick feet. Early
Shaq is better for today's game.
You're mixing the best of each of different years.
Early Shaq is better for today's game.
At his peak, wasn't good in picking.
He would eventually turn into the big Shamrock, so it would still happen.
It's like taking Kawhi from the Spurs defensively and then adding to him scoring now. It's not.
Yeah, Shaq's getting torched defensively, but it doesn't matter because he doesn't.
Next time we see Shaq, I got to tell him my daughter learned all 46 of his nicknames. Jay, she thinks they're hilarious. He's got 46.
There's no.
I thought it was 36. My fault.
Big Cactus. It might be 36. I might be wrong. Big Cactus.
Nobody's asked about Chris Paul yet. I want to speak.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to it.
I got 9 minutes.
Miles Left said these dudes come up here every day and project a whole bunch of nonsense for Jimmy, and he hasn't won ish. The new guy does it, and it's a big deal. Y'all
Miles Left. Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. Miles Left. Not yeah. That's number one. Number two, you say these dudes every day, which means you're here every day. So if we're sad and you still listening to us and paying us, by the way, how sad are you?
Miles? Appreciate the payment, though. We appreciate the payment.
And not only that, we don't do that every day.
No, we do not.
Only thing I said is based off of what I'm seeing from Jimmy. If he would have won the championship in the Finals MVP, I put him in that category.
I can't stand dudes who
come on, bro.
Who talk out of both sides of their mouths. Like, for number one, if you're gonna say something, put a name to it. Yo, Ticket does this, Mars does that, Chill does this. Don't say these dudes, because now what you're doing
is perfect. Just say it.
I'm also perfect. But I guess.
No, don't steal me.
You just said it first. Try hard.
Huh? You're not fast enough. Short legs.
Jake Thomas said, can we stop Ticket with this Kyrie nonsense? He's not going to the Lakers. He already shot down that notion. And Lakers already said that they aren't interested in Kyrie.
That's a lie.
Well, first of all, number one, I've never heard the Lakers say they weren't interested in him. So I don't know if that's true. That's number one.
Never heard Kyrie say he wasn't interested.
Kyrie's going to the Bucks.
I think he's staying in Dallas simply because they're gonna pay him.
Nope.
That's the only reason why I think
Kyrie's coming to Houston. Kyrie's coming to Houston.
Nah. Hey, chill, town. First of all, Kyrie Irving never said anything about shooting down the road. Kyrie never said nothing.
I heard that today.
Yeah, as long as he's not coming to Houston.
We never heard the Lakers or Kyrie say anything, bro.
They never shut it. The Lakers never shut it. I haven't heard the Lakers say anything
David
about
Miniman for ESPN came out yesterday and said that the door's still not closed on that with Kyrie and the Lakers. So they cut it out, bro. We will find out when it happens, bro.
Chris Paul to the Lakers, Harden to the
No. Don't say that fluent. Don't say that fluent. Unless you want to get home in the first round.
Staying in Dallas. No, I'm just telling you that's what's gonna happen.
No, I'm saying don't say Chris Paul. You don't want him on the Lakers.
I don't want Chris Paul. I never wanted Chris Paul. Well, I did actually when Kobe was there.
Ticket. If you got Chris Paul on the Lakers in a Kyle
Hold on.
If you got Chris Paul with the Lakers in a Kyle Lowry role as a rotation guard,
facts.
Does he make them better? Because to be honest with you,
Who's starting?
I actually like him. I actually like him.
I don't think we need another pick and roll player. We have LeBron.
Who's starting?
Hold on.
D'Lo, Austin Reeves.
Hold on. D'Lo's not on the roster yet. He hasn't been re-signed. Hold on. Who's starting?
I'm trying to make is we don't. That's
what we got. That's what.
Hold
on. I'm asking Chilltown because he asked a question.
Right.
Who's starting Chilltown at the point?
Well, the reason why I brought that up, Ticket, is because that's why I don't think he's leaving Phoenix. Because if he leaves Phoenix, they don't have a starting point guard. So them cutting him right now and then bringing him back for the vet minimum, they still save like $12 million or something like that, and they still got their starting point guard, as opposed to if they had somebody, because Cameron Payne is not the future. In fact, not only is Cameron Payne not the future, he's not right now. He's a backup guard at best, but he can play backup. Now, when I think about Chris Paul going to the Lakers, that would primarily be due to the fact that Phoenix already has a primary guard. The Lakers, I'm thinking about them, who, like you just mentioned, Ticket, who's starting. Well, we don't know who's starting. I'm looking at Chris Paul in a reserve role. I ain't looking at Chris Paul in a starting role. I think that his days of starting and being on the championship team as a starter, I think them days are over.
No, but
I'm just
saying that this.
Hold on for a second. Hold on to that thought. Please hold on to that thought. Shiloh, just so you know, you asking me, is he okay with it? Well, what other option does he have? Because we've seen him up until this point. He's 37 years old. Probably the best years of Chris Paul, the best of Chris Paul's years, they behind him. So if him wanting to be on a championship unit, it's got to be in a lesser role. So there's no way that he's going to.
But that's why I think he says with the Suns, because
that's why
that's what we think.
With lesser role.
Go ahead, Mook. I'm sorry to cut you off. Mook, hold on to that.
I think Chris Paul is a perfect fit with the Los Angeles Lakers. I think they bring in a guy. Hear what I'm saying? They bring in another guy that can run the offense. That because their Lakers go to these stretches at times where they can't score. On top of that, you got Austin Reeves, D'Lo, and Dennis Schroeder struggling to find correct entry passes as well. Especially when Anthony Davis is sealed off position. Now you got a guy in Chris Paul who has high IQ, who runs the offense. He's not like a guy who just looking for his own shot, bro. He kills drop coverage. Like, even though he don't generate rim pressure they used to, he do consistently kill drop coverage in the mid-range. And he know how to run the offense. And he's something that I believe that LeBron James would love to play, because he got another guy that knows how to put guys in their sets and also can run an offense, especially when LeBron James play primarily off the ball. So when you think about all of that, I think Chris Paul is a perfect fit with the Los Angeles Lakers. And y'all named Austin Reeves and D'Lo, these pick and roll players, but they're not nowhere near elite passers and playmakers like Chris Paul is as well. So I think Chris Paul with the Los Angeles Lakers is a perfect fit if they can't find anybody that could place D'Angelo Russell role that's more valuable than Chris Paul in the free agency, like a Kyrie Irving. I don't think Kyrie Irving is going to the Lakers.
I feel like Chris Paul's negatives will outweigh his positives on LA. Like I said, we already have like 3 playmakers. Chris Paul just added into something we already had. You said Austin Reeves did a pretty good job finding AD. The only person I feel like on the garbage.
No, you did not.
The only person who didn't do a good job in the garbage and finding and passing was Dennis Schroeder. But other than
Austin Reeves, bro, when you look at hold on. When you look at stretches if you look at stretches at a time, when you look at the Memphis Grizzlies series, when you look at the Golden State Warriors series, when you look at the Denver Nuggets series as well, right? Outside of LeBron James, right? These guys had inconsistencies in throwing Anthony Davis the ball in the post. They had inconsistencies in and finding the right proper reads, especially when they go through that pick and roll situation. There's always a pick and roll, or D-Lo step back midi, or D-Lo attacking the rim, or D-Lo.
I think that was more so.
That's
more so Darvin Ham's offense. That's not. It wasn't a problem with Austin V. Even
no,
like
what Mook is talking about is something simple as just dumping the ball in Anthony Davis. Something simple as
they struggle doing that shit.
He's talking about just dumping the ball into Anthony, not getting into the paint and creating space to get Anthony Davis open. We just talking about we coming out in the half court. I'm swinging the ball to Austin Reeves, throw the ball in the AD. That's what he's talking about.
Look at that. No, I do agree with that though, but I feel like that's more. That's also
look at game
Darvin
5.
Ham though. No,
look at game 5.
Darvin Ham did the same. That's I don't know like the actual name of the play, but when they had like one of the guards set the screen for him in the corner, that he curls off for it to come in the post. That was their one action to get AD the ball in the post. If that didn't work, it was just all right. ISO ball now. I feel like that's a lot more so with Darvin Ham's offense than Austin Reeves or like LeBron. I'd be able to. You think LeBron can't get AD the ball?
No, James ain't the problem.
I didn't say. We're not talking about.
But even Austin Reeves, Austin Reeves has shown
no, he has not. No, he has not.
Austin has shown in the pick-up situation. He's decent at either finding AD on the pick and roll or drawing the foul and getting the little bump and one free throw. So I feel like they have two. Even D-Lo, he's pretty decent in the pick and roll situation. So adding someone like Chris Paul just a redundancy. That's 4 players who kind of already do it. Like we don't need that. We need more so defenders, wings. That we don't need another.
I lean towards shallow. I lean towards what he's saying. I just think that Chris Paul should strictly be looking at teams like the Milwaukee Bucks, teams that need a point guard like that.
That need that.
Teams like maybe a team like Philly could help him if they lose James Harden. Teams like that. Other than that, man, he's a bench guy. I agree with my boy Fluent. I think that I don't think that that's a good look. I just think the Lakers need to go on with more re-signing their guys, younger guys, and if you can, try to get Kyrie Irving over there on a lower price. I don't think that's out of the park. We all know Kyrie marched to his own drum, and so I just think it's a wait and see situation with this whole summer. It's gonna be a wait and see.
I ain't taking no little bit of money, man. I'm 31 years old. I'm not coming to the Los Angeles.
But it ain't that though. You gotta understand when you come to Vegas, when you come to LA, you're gonna get paid other ways.
I'm gonna probably make my money back. I do. There are instances where I can make some of that money back. But
no, that's some. Now hold on, that's some. You making more money off the court than you are on for most guys.
I mean, Kawhi Leonard did, Lee. I think Kawhi Leonard left something like $50 million on the table in Toronto.
Hold on, you know how much he made back in LA? You know how much money Kawhi made off the New Balance? You know how much money Kawhi made off the Terminator commercials? You know how much money Kawhi made as soon as he came to LA? Kawhi wasn't stupid. He left that money for them. But when you go to LA, Fluent will tell you, you'll get that money back in LA, especially if you're marketable.
All right, fellas, moving on to the next super chat.
Yeah, Kawhi could have signed for the 5-year Supermax, bro, but he chose the 4-year deal, bro.
MP13 said, I mean, people said that about Giannis because he underperformed in comparison to his MVP season. Jokic not winning with Austin Rivers as his point guard when he himself averaging 31 and 13 is different. Hunter said playoff Murray is top 5 at a minimum.
He was talking about player. We were talking about Jamal Murray being a top 25 player. And he said that playoff Jamal Murray is a top 5 player. I don't know if I'm going that far.
He ain't even made an All-Star team yet, has he?
Or an All-NBA team.
Just for the record, Kawhi would have made a lot more money in endorsements had he stayed in Toronto.
Hey, Fluent.
He's only getting paid $5.5 million from New Balance. There's Toronto area people offering him twice that and free food for life and a free condo. He actually is the one situation where he made less in endorsements going back.
Did you know that condo was like $30 million and they was like, you could live in it for free.
You can have it for free and eat for free.
He turned it down.
He's like,
no. He turned it down.
No, that's why
he wanted to go
LA. They could have offered Kawhi the city. Kawhi was going back home.
They literally offered
like it's nothing.
Which, by the way, in Tone, you and I had this conversation. If he's on that Toronto Raptors team in the 1920 season, they're back. They're back in the finals.
Favorites to repeat.
They back in the finals 100%.
I think the better basketball move would have been to stay with Toronto, but that him going to LA wasn't a basketball move, or it wasn't a basketball move.
No, he wanted to go home.
His life. He wanted to go home. And I don't blame him for that at all.
If he would have won a chip, if he would have stayed with Toronto, they would have repeat for sure.
Tone, I want to make
at minimum move they back in the finals.
He only get $5.5 million though from New Balance. That's crazy.
Tone, I want to make you go viral real quick. Tone, let me ask you a question. Jamal Murray, does he have the ability to become the greatest player in Canada outside? Oh, did he have the ability to become a better player than Steve Nash?
Yes.
I don't
think so. Yes, Jamal Murray could be the greatest Canadian player ever. Yes, he has that ability. He could do that. Yes.
Better than Steve Nash?
Well, hold on, but hey, now Fluent, I got your ass. But when I asked you, I got his ass now. When I asked you this, no, I got your ass now because I got you on tape 2 times now. Because I asked you about Shea. I asked you about Shea and Steve Nash, Shea. And you told me no with Shea.
I said no. You asked me who's better, and I said Shea's not there yet. That's a different question. If you ask me, does Shea have the potential? Yes. And here's why. Hold on. And here's why Shea and Jamal Murray have the potential, because they are still young in their careers and they can do something that Steve Nash never did.
What I said.
And that's win a title.
Hold on. So now, hold on. So this is the last one. So now Shea and Murray, who in your mind, who's the better guy? Who's the better player?
Right now, look
at him chill. Look at him chill. They gonna get your ass in Canada.
Right now, I think Jamal is the better player. I think Shea will be the better player.
No,
I think
Jamal. Hold on, tell me. You think Jamal's better than Shea right now?
Right now, yeah. Look what he's doing in the playoffs. Show me what Shea did in the playoffs.
That's a big. Joker's a big component of what Murray is doing in the playoffs. Shea as the best player on the team.
He's in a better situation. He's in a better situation.
Yeah, but being in a better situation doesn't make you a better player necessarily.
Let's stay consistent, Ticket. Shea has. I think Shea will be better, but keep in mind, I've always and forever said I don't judge players with these all-time lists until they're done.
No,
so right now, I'm picking the guy who's in the finals, not the guy who's sitting at home watching.
But the guy who's in the finals,
who's playing better right now? Hold on, who's playing better right now?
Shea.
Right now, she's not playing. She's sitting on the couch.
Man, this man.
But yeah.
I hate you.
I don't see that.
I'm sad. Hey, no, you are sad, dog.
You can hate me, but
you are sad. You know good and damn well that man ain't better.
I'm consistent.
You know good and damn well, Fluent, that man ain't better than Jamal Murray ain't better than him right now. You know good and well.
Right now he is.
Jamal Murray's better than who?
Shea will be the better.
Than Shea.
Oh, Jamal Murray is not better than Shea. No.
Yeah,
Shea will be the better player. Shea will be the better player.
And
hold on, Morris, you came in late. Who's playing better right now?
Shea's not playing right now.
Exactly.
It's not fair. Come on.
I don't get fair. Who cares about fair?
All right, y'all. Taquay White said, don't let Mookie get off saying Jamal raced his play in the bubble. He said the bubble was fake and everything in the bubble doesn't count.
He said that? Oh, I wish he would say something. That is not facts. That is not facts.
That is facts.
The bubble is one of the hardest rings ever won.
I don't care if it's hard or not. It's still not real.
No. Stop.
It's not real. It never happened.
No, that's a lie. Stop. I'm a bigger Laker fan and been a Laker fan longer than you. Don't let your Laker fandom say something stupid.
It's not. No. Okay.
Bubble was not the hardest. No.
But let me say why though. I'm gonna say why without even bringing up Lakers.
It doesn't matter why because I gotta go.
Not hardest. Okay, but maybe hardest is wrong, but it's one of the is not as easy as
long as you say hardest is wrong. I'm good.
No, hardest, hardest is no.
Everybody,
it's too far. But
so we can debate it. You can come tonight at 9 p.m. on Fluent and Show. We can debate why it wasn't the hardest.
Okay,
I'll
do that.
Why is the poll say can Jamal Murray be better than Steve Nash?
That's where this whole thing started.
That's what
Fluent said. Yes. Fluent said yes, Mars.
Ticket asked the question.
Yeah, now we
that's ridiculous. What?
I agree.
Moving
Don't
along.
know who Steve Nash is, I guess. Whatever.
Doja said, how many chips would Allen Iverson had won with Shaq if you swapped him with Kobe this season?
Not as many because AI wasn't as good on the defensive end as Kobe. So
yeah, that's true.
Whatever Kobe then won, a little bit less.
They would have
probably won one.
I'd have got him.
Yeah, probably won one. But the repeat,
I give him.
They needed
There's
that.
also the thing too. I don't know if Shaq and Kobe or Shaq and AI break up.
Kobe's D was big. You got to remember.
No, for sure. I'm saying I don't know if Shaq and AI break up. I don't know if that's the case.
But you're saying one because remember, Kobe was first team all defense.
Yes, he was.
That's a big part of it.
AI was a horrible defender. Kobe's taking all the killers in the West and going through the playoffs defensively too.
Yeah.
Focus, Mars. Focus, Mars.
That's hard to focus on. That was crazy.
Focus, Mars.
What? Me saying I don't know if Shaq and AI break up?
Oh, like you were saying, I heard him. I heard him. But anyway, like Ticket was saying, I think Kobe and Shaq played off of each other tremendously. I think Allen Iverson, I'm not sure how he would have played off of Shaq. People think that you could just, I still think that we live in an era today where people think you could just throw guys together. Shaq and Kobe played 8 years together. They developed the chemistry. As good as Kobe and Shaq were, Shaq became what he became because Kobe got better. And Kobe became what he became because Shaq got better. You're not just going to throw Allen Iverson on that unit, the scorer that he is, how lapsed he is on defense, and these dudes are just going to win because you're just going to keep throwing the ball into Shaq, and Allen Iverson is just going to shoot the basketball. No, these guys played off of each other really well, especially considering the fact the offense that they played in, the triangle offense, kept rhythm between everybody. So when you're in the triangle offense, everybody is touching the basketball. Allen Iverson was a ball-dominant guy. He was a ball-dominant guy who not only did he touch the basketball every trip, he stayed on the ball. That wasn't what the triangle offense was about.
Yeah, Kobe was that guy too in his nature. Now, obviously,
Kobe was able to play off ball though. That's the thing.
I mean, so you don't think AI can play off ball?
AI can play
with the Iverson cuts, yeah. But
here's also the thing too, though.
Well Kobe,
this is also what I do want to mention as well. They would have been more competitive earlier because Allen Iverson started his career off doing more than Kobe Bryant. He started his career off more NBA ready than Kobe Bryant. So right from 1996, they would have been ready to rock and roll. 1997, they would have been immediate contenders because Allen Iverson was all NBA and Shaq was who he was. Yeah. So I will say that they would have been a bit more competitive a couple years earlier too. And I think Allen Iverson's a little more easier to get along with. I think Shaq build more camaraderie off the court and they'd be more boys. So I do think that their career would continue, or their partnership would continue longer on into 2005, 2006, maybe
Kobe
even 2007.
Kobe Bryant was very business. Kobe Bryant was about let's get the job done. 100%. Shaq and Allen Iverson were more cohesive in that aspect. They like to hang out. And
hey, they would have been kicking it. They would have been in LA having
no doubt about that. But when I think that Kobe and Shaq, those two, the problem wasn't their games more than it was Kobe was chasing the ghost. And Kobe was chasing the ghost of Jordan. And Kobe wanted to get better every year. And in the process of him getting better every year, people wanted Kobe to segue just into the number 2 role and be that. And he was like, yo, I'm better than that. I'm not just a number 2. I'm better than a number 2. And he was trying to prove that every year.
Yeah, I just think Kobe's defense was a big part. He was more efficient as a scorer, and playmaking I think was pretty close. AI and Kobe's playmaking to me are not that far apart. So, and in more categories, I feel like Kobe was just a better fit for Shaq.
Yeah, he was. I think so.
Alfred Griffin said, Mars, leave Randall alone before he ends up on Houston.
Yes.
And everyone knows RJ is the best Canadian ball player. Laughing my ass off. I'm trolling.
Yeah. If Randall ended up on Houston, I'm done. If Randall ended up on Houston,
who's the new team? If that happens.
OKC is my backup team for a few.
Julius Randle to the Rockets. Get the campaign going. I love it.
Easy.
I wouldn't wish Julius Randle on my worst enemy.
Grande Jones said, what up, Ron? You said I won the giveaway, LOL. Salute the panel and Underdog. Shout out Grande Jones. We're gonna see you tomorrow. You better come and give us some dub picks too. Hey, we giving you 400. You better come up here and get us something too.
Hey man, don't act like you don't know us.
True Believer 616 says start bench cut best floppers all time. LeBron, Vlade
Divac one.
Yeah, Vlade Divac is one.
Divac is at the top of the list, 100%.
Yeah, Harden and
LeBron's 2, Harden 3.
And we shouldn't even have like if you're gonna talk about floppers, I mean, like Danny Ainge should be in there, Dennis Rodman should be in there, Bill Lambert. Like if we're gonna talk about dudes who flop, Kyle Lowry should be in there.
Marcus Smart.
Like Marcus Smart, yes.
He's still so bad with that. I don't know why they stopped finding people in the NBA because he does it so much.
Right.
Yeah.
Jadine Anderson said, anybody from NY? Hope y'all stayed safe yesterday.
Yeah, it's like a fall. It's like a ghost town out here, man. I'm wearing my mask. I feel like it's 2020 all over again. got my mask on and stuff. Yeah, it's getting crazy, but I'm trying. I'm trying to stay indoors. Yeah,
New York, wow.
Yeah, praying for everybody out there in New York. Y'all stay strong. The wind gonna blow it out pretty soon.
Hopefully, I'm trying to play some basketball outside.
Alan R said all Zion did was get a little freaky. Why is that a problem? He's just following in PG's footsteps.
The reason why is because he's not playing basketball. That's why, Alan, because he's not playing.
The reason why he's popular, he's not doing that. The reason why he's known, he's not doing that. That's why
he's not playing basketball. If he was playing, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But the fact that he's not playing, that's why. If he was playing, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But the fact that he's not, that's where we at with him.
We let Maddie do his thing, no problem.
Lonnie Williams said, "Get them likes up. Stop being lazy."
Come on, man. Get them up. Get them up.
Isaac Ford said Heat in 7.
I think that the game 4 winner, wins the series.
Yeah, definitely. If Nuggets go up 3-1, it's over and it's 2-2. Oh, wait, so even if Heat win,
I think the game 4 winner wins the series.
So Heat could win in the Mile High twice. That's
we already seen them win. We already seen them.
If Miami are gonna win, they have to win in 6, in my opinion. I don't see them going into Denver in a game 7 and win. But they might. I've been wrong, and Miami seems to just prove everyone wrong. So I don't know what to do with them.
Angie Carr said that 2019 draft class a direct threat to the CBA. Anastia said, for Zion, keep in mind that it is the only girl we know of. It is very possible that he might be on some Nick Cannon business off the radar.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, it's his business. I don't
know if he's that well. And even if he is, so. All right.
Pimp named Slickback said, wait, so does this mean that Jokic didn't need the postseason to prove himself as an offensive player? Because y'all said that a few weeks ago.
No, we did not say that a few weeks ago, Pimp named Slickback. In fact, I am a candidate. I am on record saying I care about what? I care about what
you do and when you did when you do it.
Right. So I don't care that you awesome in the regular season. If it's not translating in the playoffs, then that doesn't matter. So no.
He did say
Captain Funk said Zion did nothing wrong. Black men don't cheat. Facts. Alan R said, y'all ever seen the Low boxing video? Pure comedy.
Low got a boxing video?
I heard Low got boxing videos.
I saw Low play 1-on-1. I saw Low play 1-on-1.
I did see Low play 1-on-1. Yeah. That was interesting. Low put boxing gloves on? Oh my God.
Mars, what happened in the 1-on-1 video?
I don't think Low's going to be good.
He was in the post? He was.
That's the extent of Low's bag post-ups.
He was in the
mid post. Little post hooks. Yeah, he had a couple post hooks in there.
He was in the mid post. It was kind of slow, but
yeah.
Hey, that's Lokish for you. That Crooked Cat said ticket. Gave you a shout out on your live stream last night with your tips on Monday. Appreciate it. That Crooked Cat, that's dude who came up here. Won us some money. Silent Present said, so it's Jimmy better than D Wade versus Jokic and Denver. Did read that. But versus Jokic and Denver dynasty on if one of them wins. Sounds like a great poll, Ron. Interesting guy said, one day we will acknowledge Jimmy as a free throw merchant and the worst all-star level shot creator and maker.
I don't know what that means, because when I think about a free throw merchant, I think about a guy who gets to the stripe more than he should, and he scores more at the free throw line, and it makes it look like he's a better offensive player and scorer than he actually is. Is that what a free throw merchant is?
Yeah, I think Jimmy has the largest portion of his points come from the free throw line than anyone else. I think someone can tell me it's wrong, but I think Jimmy does have the largest portion of his points coming from the free throw line.
Because when I think about Jimmy Butler getting to the stripe, I mean James Harden. I think he had a 4-year stretch where he averaged like 10 free throws a game, something like that. And yeah, I mean Jimmy Butler gets to the stripe, but Jimmy Butler also does score. I mean, we talking about a dude in Jimmy Butler who averaged 22 a game. If he's getting 6, or if he's getting 6 of those from the stripe, that's a third. Well, the same thing with James Harden. If James Harden's going to the free throw line 10 times, and I think James Harden's like an 85% free throw shooter. So of the 30 he getting, 8 of that is coming from the stripe. That's around 30. What was that? Almost 30. That's almost 30% too.
I just never get the free throw being called a free throw merchant as like a diss, because I feel like if I could get to the line, I'm going to do it. That's
part of being an offensive player.
So if I could get to the line 20 times, I'm going to keep doing that, whatever it takes. So I don't.
Yes, Shaq was a free throw merchant too. Huh?
That's why true shooting is good, guys. This is why true shooting is good.
I try to make sense of it, Mars. Whenever I hear it, I try to make sense of it, but it kind of goes over my head.
Yeah, James Harden's a free throw merchant.
Andre B said, "We need a Ticket TV. Put that in your pipe and smoke it compilation."
He's to trademark that.
Real.
Jason the Kid also chimed in for Ticket. He said, "I will cook you on this. We can debate on your channel. I'm a member."
Come through. Come through.
Taquay White said, "Jimmy over AI, shaking my head. Ticket disrespecting legends to cap for young guys."
Capping for young cats, man. It's crazy.
Disrespectful.
That's crazy.
Disrespectful.
I can't respect that, man.
Hit 44 said, "Mars, if Denver wins, does this give you more hope Arsenal will win/invest since that is the last team of Cronkies who haven't won their league?"
It can go either way. Either you get content that your other 2 affiliates are succeeding and you just chill out on Arsenal. But he's been investing in Arsenal recently, so there's reason to believe that we can turn that second into first in the near future. But I don't know. I mean, I think if Denver win, I think you should just invest more into the one team that hasn't won. But I'm also biased towards Arsenal.
Rolo 555 said, "Jimmy is just a modern day Latrell Sprewell."
Even if let's just say for the sake of argument that's true. So Sprewell was awesome. What are you talking about? Why are you talking about Sprewell?
No Hall of Famer though, for many reasons.
I think
if Sprewell, if Jimmy Butler is a modern day Sprewell, even though he's better, right?
Better, yeah.
Spree still was awesome. So he's a better version of Latrell Sprewell, which, okay, so what? Why are you talking about Latrell Sprewell like he was just okay? Sprewell was awesome.
I don't get the comparison. Latrell Sprewell was a crazy guy. Like,
not only is the comparison not the same. Like, I mean, we talking about Spree as an offensive player, as an athlete. He was a much better athlete than Jimmy Butler.
Yep,
much better. So, and he was a first team All NBA performer. That was the only year he made All NBA, by the way. He never made the
first
NBA.
team All NBA.
Wait, what year?
1994. He's first team All NBA, and that's the only year he made the All
NBA. Isn't that like his second year in the league?
Second year in the league, he was first team All NBA. Yes, sir.
I knew he was All NBA. I didn't know his first team.
Never made the All NBA team again after that.
What team was he on in '94?
He was in the Warriors.
Yeah, he was in the Warriors.
Yeah, he was with the Warriors. First team All NBA. Never made the All NBA team again, ever.
That forward spot must have been shallow.
No, he played the 2.
Yeah, MJ was out of the league at this point.
Yeah, so. Jordan was.
Oh, yep, that makes sense. Okay,
which means he beat out Clyde Drexler.
He did.
Kat Leho Rockosi, hope I said your name right, bro. Said, "How much better is Kawhi than Jimmy Butler? In the 2019 finals, Kawhi Leonard doesn't make the buzzer shot. Does Philly beat Golden State?"
Philly would have to beat Milwaukee.
First of all,
revisionist history has made it seem like Kawhi made that buzzer beater in the conference finals. No, the second round.
That was second.
They would have to then beat Milwaukee,
right.
which I don't know if they can beat Milwaukee because I don't think they have the personnel the way Toronto did to actually slow down Giannis the way Toronto could. So first, not only do they have to beat Milwaukee, they then have to beat Golden State.
Right.
And Danny Green's not on the court. Maybe Klay Thompson don't tear his ACL. So
yeah, and playoffs is so much matchup based. It's not as simple as this team would have won instead of that team. It's matchup based. Philly wouldn't have matched up, I don't think, too as well with the Bucks, like Mars said, as the Raptors. So,
and I'm going on
and Jay in the chat as well. If Kawhi misses, the game goes to overtime. They still could have lost in overtime. So that's another factor. Like, there's no guarantee they would have won that game.
Kawhi was much better. To me, Kawhi was much better and is much better at that point.
Kawhi to me is substantially better than Jimmy Butler. But
yeah, to me, he's not. Yeah.
And I know you hate this, Mars. I know you hate this, Mars, but I think Coach Bud would have out-coached Doc Rivers.
That's the biggest mid-off in the history of mid-off.
I agree, though.
My
I do
God.
agree. This is a mid-off, but
I think he would have out-coached him. I do. I know that you hate that, but I think Coach Bud would have out-coached Doc Rivers in that conference finals because he got out-coached by Nick Nurse, who built the wall, and he didn't have a counter for that. He didn't know what to do with Giannis, even though Giannis was significantly better in one-on-one with Kawhi Leonard when they were going up against.
Was it Brett Brown or Doc Rivers in 19?
Yeah, I don't think it was Doc. I think it was Brett Brown.
I mean, Brett Brown's probably getting out coached by Mike.
I don't think it was.
At least it's not as bad of a middle. At least it's not as bad of a middle.
Yeah, next year Doc Rivers.
Right.
Doc Rivers came in 21.
That's correct. I'm sorry. I got the year.
19 and 20 was Brett Brown. 19 and 20 was Brett Brown.
Yeah, twins.
That's still mid. That's still
Doc Rivers, right? Wasn't the
bubble was still Brett Brown. That was the year they got swept.
Yeah.
So Simmons went there. That's when.
Yeah, that was
okay, because he was the Clippers. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
21 was
the Hawk series.
Philly have had some bad coaches. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. There's no way that they should have lost that Hawk series. None. They had no business losing to the Hawks.
Does it end now, Mars, with Nick Nurse?
Nick Nurse is a good coach. I don't think he's a great offensive coach. So I don't know what he's really going to do with them offensively. But defensively, he's a very good coach, and he's the best coach Embiid's ever had. So,
all right, fair enough. Melo Williams said, "I think the Nuggets' adjustment to the zone was great, with putting Jokic in the short corner instead of the elbow at times."
That's what we didn't get to talk about the game. I was going to bring these type of things up. I mean, everyone knows the ways to beat a zone: either ball movement, get to the middle, or the short corner. Those are the three ways. The middle wasn't really working because they were front in the middle with Jokic, so then they just put him in the short corner, and then the help because the way they play a zone, it's not like a 2-3, it's like a 4-1. Like they just have one big they have like one big at the base of the zone, and they keep their two like corner guys up above the break to like
it fluctuates to like a 2-3, but then it goes back to a 2-2.
It's like one of the weirdest zones I've ever seen. But when you do that and you put Jokic in the short corner, then the big has to go to Jokic in the short corner, which frees up the cuts for like Christian Braun, Aaron Gordon, etc. And that's why Miami zone wasn't really sustainable in Game 3, which is why I think Duncan Robinson played less than he probably should have. Because Duncan Robinson really only plays when Miami can play the zone. And if the zone isn't working, they don't want to play man with Duncan Robinson on the court. So then he ends up just playing less minutes, even if he's doing good offensively. So I think unless they can fix the zone and Denver can't exploit it, Duncan Robinson's minutes are going to stay low, which doesn't help Miami, in my opinion. So
that's why I was kind of hoping that they get Tyler Hero back, because maybe he's not the best defender either, but at least I don't know. I just feel like the Heat need more help. And
to your point, Mars, when you were talking about the zone, so the fact that they ended up moving Joker to the baseline and to the dunker spot, well, it worked even better when now you put your best playmaker in the middle of the zone. So in addition to fluctuating them and putting them on the dunker spot, so now we put him in the middle of the zone, and then we get that matchup that we want with him and Gabe Vincent. We get that matchup that we want with him and I believe it was Caleb Martin. So when we get those matchups, we can still run our man-to-man stuff, which is what they were doing. They were still running a lot of their man-to-man stuff. And now you got guys like Jamal Murray hitting shots. When you got guys like Jamal Murray hitting shots, when you got guys like KCP that are hitting shots, now what happens is that zone can't collapse. That zone can't collapse nearly as much. Now these guys have to stay stretched. So when now Joker is matched up with Gabe Vincent at the free throw line, he goes after him. And there is no counter for that. You have no counter for that except to put Bam on him. And then now when you got Bam on him away from the basket, now I got Aaron Gordon in the dunker spot, right? Not only do I have Aaron Gordon in the dunker spot, I still can create against Bam. And now the zone does collapse because now you guys got to help Bam. And now he's getting guys like KCP and Jamal Murray open. I'm having a difficult time, Oz, with the idea of them countering everything that Denver does, because it seems like Denver has a counter for their counter. So it's almost like it's a great boxing match. So you come up with something, then I come up with something right after you come up with something, and then I come up with something again, and you have a difficult time countering that.
There's only so many ways you can alter a zone. At some point, if Denver have every answer to a zone, which I knew they would have, because Jokic is like the ultimate zone breaker in NBA history. Right. At some point, you can't go to the zone anymore. Like, I don't know what Eric Spoelstra knows more about basketball than me. Maybe he's gonna figure out another way to make this zone viable. But it seems like every way that is possible to break a zone, Jokic is probably the best in the NBA at it. And the personnel Miami have, there's just not enough for them to have for it to be viable. I don't know what more Spo can do than he's.
I think that's the issue more than anything, though. To be honest with you, I think that's the issue more than anything. I think it's a personnel issue more than it is anything. Because when you look at them going to a zone, they're not going to a zone like they did against Boston. They're not going to the zone like they did against the Knicks. They're going to a zone because, well, we're in foul trouble. We're going to. It's not because we're trying to stop them from shooting. Because again, you got Joker in the middle of the zone. He's their best playmaker. And odds are he's going to get these guys open shots, and we don't have a counter for that. So it's almost like you're fighting to try to not get beat up. I'm going to get beat up, and when I go into the zone, I'm trying to not get beat up as much.
And the problem with the zone is that the spots where you kill a zone, like Mars said, like dunker spot, top of the free throw line, that's where Joker passes the best. That's where he has best playmaking spots, I guess you could say. Right. So that's what makes it so hard to me to stop him, because the places where you beat a zone, that's where Joker passes is at his best. So,
and I think they've also figured out, and since we're on this subject, because we didn't talk much about the game, I think that Mike Malone has figured out this switching smalls onto bigs. He's definitely figured that out. So we got to, and on top of that, what Spo can't do, he can't counter that, because that was a weapon of his. He used it against Boston. He used it against the Knicks. He used it against Milwaukee. They didn't capitalize on it. So he expected the Denver Nuggets to not do the same thing. I mean, he expected the Denver Nuggets to do the same thing, where they're not going to capitalize on it either, only except Mike Malone just went after that. So when he sees, I'm watching the
Gabe Vincent on Eric Gordon.
Well, not only just Gabe Vincent on Eric Gordon, I'm watching the pick and roll between Jimmy Butler and Bam,
Jimmy's getting switched onto Jokic,
and Bam is dragging him right.
He puts him right into that basket,
and he's going after him.
Doesn't waste no time.
Okay, well, we can't keep doing this, because if we keep doing this and we try to send the double across where I got Jimmy on him, well, we can't have him one-on-one, because he's going to score on him every trip, right? So if we send the double where Bam comes, well, he's just going to kick it out to Jamal Murray. He's going to kick it out to KCP. He's going to kick it out to somebody on the wing who's going to knock down shots. And more than likely, they're going to hit shots more often than they're not, because Joker's going to put them in a position where they can score more than they can. So it's more of a personnel issue with the Miami Heat than it is anything. And the last thing that I want to say about this, I'm not buying any of the logic of these guys. The effort wasn't there. Let's be clear about one thing, Mars. Even if your best might be better than my best, that don't mean I ain't trying.
Yeah,
I'm trying pretty hard. It's just your best is better than mine.
The effort thing is, to me, is like a scapegoat conversation. Oh, like they didn't try their best. They're trying. It just sometimes someone is better than you.
That's
it. Better. Just better. It's okay.
That's
so the not trying excuse to me is just a cop out. That's
the idea that they were getting beat on the backboard. That's effort. Well, here's the difference. The difference is when Joker goes to the glass, Joker's going to the glass and he's getting blocked out by Kyle Lowry and Caleb Martin. I can slip those guys. I don't have to run those guys over. I can slip those guys and I can get rebounds. If I'm the bigger guy and I'm more physical, I can get rebounds against them. So as opposed to, it's just, I'm just going to go stick my nose in and it's just an effort thing. Even though rebounding is an effort thing, there is technique to it. So the effort is clearly there with the Miami Heat. Denver's just better.
And Denver's
bigger. Yeah, it's bigger. Aaron Gordon is a decent.
Aaron Gordon's 6'9" and built.
They're a better rebounding team. They're a better team. Yeah, just
Jamal Murray was getting. There was a few rebounds where like it's falling beyond the free throw line, and Jamal Murray's picking it up. I'm like, okay, someone needs to just go get the ball in that situation. There's a few of them, but like for the most part of the game, it's just Denver are just a better rebounding team. So
they're just bigger.
And on top of that, Mars, like you just said, those few rebounds in the at the free throw area or in the mid post, that wasn't the difference in the game. The difference in the game was you got your ass kicked on the backboard as a whole. Because I saw Bam going to the backboard. I saw Caleb Martin going to the backboard. They're just bigger than you guys, and in the process of them being bigger, they could be more physical, and they pushed you guys around. It doesn't mean that these guys weren't trying, because they were trying. It's just that my best is better than your best.
And then the problem with go ahead.
NV said Shaq didn't become quote unquote the most dominant until all the great bigs left.
That's not true.
It was dominating in the 90s.
It coincided with him. He just got healthier as well. Like he was just dealing with more ailments, and like post Orlando, like his early Lakers years, he just wasn't 100% healthy for long stretches. Like he was dealing with like lower body injuries, and then he got healthy around like 99. And then he just ascended from that moment on, and then most dominant.
But you still knew Shaq was in 95.
He made like the
because they didn't
All-NBA
win.
top
That's what it
50 team
was.
in '96, right? Like he
Because,
was in the
yeah,
top 50
yeah.
after 4 years in the NBA. Like
Yeah.
everyone
No,
knew.
not 4 years, Mars. Let's be clear. That the top
year?
50, it was made at the All-Star weekend, which is half the season. So it's 3.5 years.
Oh wow.
3.5 years.
Yeah. So he was that dominant. Was he
Right.
the best big in the game? Maybe not. Hakeem. Cool. Was he number 2? Maybe not. David Robinson. Was he number 3? You bet he was. He was number 3 at worst.
Yeah.
And that's throughout the 90s. So like I don't know what more you really want from him.
In
He
98,
just
was better than
didn't
Dave
win. That's what it was.
Yeah, he was
just
better than David
won in
Robinson in the late
2000.
90s as well. I'm not arguing with
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Royalty said, shout out to the panel. You all talk real ball with the barbershop feeling. Penny Hardaway is one of my favorite players. That said, how good could he have been barring injury?
He could have been an all-time great point guard, 100%. I think that he was revolutionary at 6'7", ridiculous athlete, could pass with the best of them. I think what ruined him, not just injuries, Shaq leaving. Because with Shaq, with Shaq being there, what that did was that took a lot of the pressure off of him because he was already beat up. He had already had knee problems. But with Shaq there, that would alleviate a lot of his injuries because he wouldn't have had to do as much offensively. He wouldn't have had to do as much as a player. In fact, I think Shaq being there would have enhanced his game. So he would have been awesome.
This summer we're going to do a lot of hypothetical talk because, well, it's not going to be no games to talk about. That is something that I definitely want to talk about. Can't really do that right now. I'm trying to finish all the super chats, but shout out to Penny Hardaway and shout out Royalty. That actually is one of my favorite players of all time too.
If you wasn't around during that time,
one of my favorites to go back and watch as well. I love going back to watch Penny.
Just so you know, Moss, he was fantastic, yo. He was
that one move where like he did like the half spin step back.
All you have to do is say that one Penny move.
The only guy in the NBA who I see do that today is Andrew Wiggins.
I'm
like,
and I only seen him do it one time.
Wiggins. I'm like,
and I only seen him do it one time.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's not more people adding that because that creates hella separation. Maybe it's hard for them to do. I don't know, but
so really quick, Ron. So Mars, you're gonna see a guy throughout the course of your life when you look at him and you go, that dude is different. No matter who he is, you're going to see a guy, whether he's first year or he's third year, you're going to see this guy and you're going to, this guy is different. When I saw Penny Hardaway, probably after his second year, I was like, this dude is different. Just looking at how big he is, how athletic he is, his ability to handle the ball, how he passed. I was like, yo, I might be looking at maybe a better, more athletic version of Magic. I might be looking at that.
To me, he had top 10 all-time point guard potential. And obviously, it's just
Mars, top 10 is ingenuous.
Yeah,
and that fast break,
top 5.
Yeah,
I wouldn't argue with top 5 because I'm extremely high on Penny. Like you ain't no one's gonna tell me if we start talking about peak Penny Hardaway, I'm gonna be the first one talking about how great I think he was. But
he was first team All NBA with Stockton and Gary Payton and Jason Kidd running around.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about Penny Hardaway in the offseason.
Yeah, y'all gonna want to strangle me because I'm hyping. All right. The Tribe one said Jokic will probably be the best thick player Shaq had played against. He's 7 foot 285. Jokic is not slow. Jokic is slow, not weak. Shaq stronger, but Jokic a lot more skilled.
Okay, let's kill the 285. Just so you know, Dave Robinson was 275 pounds, and he was built like a Greek god. So it wasn't like David Robinson. Yes, David Robinson was not small. David Robinson looked like what do you call them things at Michigan? A Spartan. That's what he looked like.
No, for real.
Patrick Ewing was 265 pounds. Patrick Ewing was not small, right? Yeah. So these guys, it's just that Shaq was just so overpowering that he just looked so much bigger and he was so much stronger than everybody. I mean, this dude is tearing down backboards. So of course it's going to look a little bit different with him and David Robinson and guys like that. But he was just so much more physically dominant than the rest of these guys. They weren't small though. These guys were not small.
The only guy I saw who could really like match Shaq's strength and like wasn't like bullied was Tim Duncan. He's the only one who, to me, just didn't look like they were overmatched when they went against Shaq.
What about Ben Wallace?
But Ben Wallace. But how about KG?
KG couldn't match his physicality. KG's a great defender, but Shaq was like the biggest mismatch for him. And Ben Wallace allowed Detroit to play Shaq one-on-one, but he was still getting destroyed.
Which doesn't make sense to me to this day, Mars, because they stopped going. Like that should have been the game plan. Because they were playing them one-on-one.
Yeah, they was playing them one-on-one. You go to Shaq every possession, but
that's
breaking the triangle and like
that's one of my biggest things with Kobe. I feel like Kobe really messed that series up. That's one of my I can't defend that one. Because why not feed Shaq? Shaq's doing good. So
we all have him, brother. We do. We all have him. I say the same thing about 2011. I'm like, yo, don't ask me.
That's why I can't defend.
I'll try to come up with something and I'll give you some context, but for the most part, I got nothing.
I have a super chat that I'm eventually going to get to, and it kind of alludes to what I think was the reason behind that. But moving along, Lit One said the Spurs should also be credited for the 3-point evolution. Remember the 2014 finals? The Heat were getting killed from downtown.
That's still to this day some of the best ball movement I've ever seen. No one had the ball for more than 5 seconds. It's always constant ball movement, and they had shooters everywhere. So yeah, I definitely agree with that.
I'm on record. Go ahead, Miles. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it's like there's been many teams, in my opinion, that have like taken threes or like have been like revolutionary. Like I could go back to like when I used to go back and watch like the Knicks with Rick Pitino. They were taking a bunch of threes for the time.
Yes, they were.
I could argue they were one of the first teams. Then you got when Rudy T took over in Houston, they started taking threes. Then you got obviously the D'Antoni Suns. Then you got the Orlando Magic. Then you got the Daryl Morey Houston Rockets. Then you got Miami with Chris Bosh at the 5. Then you got Golden State. And now everyone seems to be doing that. There's many teams that have done the 3-point thing. And Steph Curry and the Warriors won. And ultimately, they became the poster child for it. And I think they accelerated it. Because the NBA is a copycat league, which a lot of people say. Once you see something have success, you want to start emulating that. And I think that's what the Golden State Warriors did. But they weren't the first team to start elevating the amount of threes they were taking. I think a lot of teams have done it. But they
weren't the first team. Yeah, they weren't the first team to start doing it. I feel like they were the first team to have their best player predominantly shoot threes and win. Right. Because usually, even though those teams you mentioned, their best player wasn't the like LeBron and D-Wade weren't 3-point shooters. Tim Duncan on 2014 wasn't a 3-point shooter. So teams that did it and won, their best player wasn't the shooter.
Amari Stoudemire was not a 3-point shooter. He wasn't.
Curry was the first one to be like the team's best player and predominantly shoot threes. So that's why I give him credit for. Because before before then, like the narrative was a jump shooting team cannot win a championship, or your best player shooting jump shots cannot win a championship. I feel like they were the ones that changed that narrative.
Hakeem Delph with the super chat. He said, "Do y'all think D Wade is the best shot blocking guard of all time?"
Well, statistically, he is.
Him or MJ that's the only really competition. Him or MJ.
Statistically, he is. But I think it's Jordan. Because Jordan challenged shots at the rim. Jordan was great on the weak side. Not only was Jordan great on the weak side, he was also great face-to-face, right? Jordan wasn't just a shot blocker at the rim. He wasn't just blocking big man shots on the weak side. You trying to pull up 15 feet, he could get to that shot. So Jordan was fantastic at that.
I was trying to think of other options.
To me, it's D-Wade, MJ. That's the only combo.
I mean, Alvin Robinson was a pretty good shot blocker, but Alvin Robinson was more of a he was good with his hands in terms of steals. He was that kind of he was disruptive in that way. He wasn't really a rim protector more than he was a guy who, when you got the ball, he would throw you off rhythm, smacking the ball out of your hands, making you fumble the ball, things like that. That's how good he was in that aspect. But when you talk about a shot blocker, Jordan had your head on a swivel because he was trying to figure out where he was because he could come at it anywhere like the boogeyman.
All right, fellas, I got a couple more that I'm going to read for you, and then we're going to go ahead and do the damn thing. Zach Attack said, y'all should review the new CBA. This Kyrie to Lakers only makes sense if Kyrie takes a huge discount. The Big Three era is over.
They don't want a repeat of Golden State. They don't. They're trying everything in their power to avoid these super teams being formed. They want it to go back to duos, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I like it in that way more than the super team era. I prefer just.
But that's why the CBA it's kind of like penalizing teams who draft well too, though. Like,
no, it's not. It's a good direction.
It's not. But
I think if you drafted your players, you are able to go over the cap to re-sign them.
The bird rights don't go anywhere. Not only do the bird rights not go anywhere. What it does is it enhances,
it incentivizes you drafting.
Yes, it absolutely it does. That's why I think with this new CBA, you're going to see teams more like what you see with the Golden State Warriors. I ain't even talking about with KD. Let's take KD off the table. I think that you're going to see more Golden State Warriors, Boston Celtics, Denver Nuggets. I think you're going to see more homegrown teams, and I think you're going to see teams where players stay home more than they move on because that's where the money's going to be.
And I think it's going to change the way trades work. Like teams aren't going to be willing to just part with 4 first-round picks. That's not happening no more. You're not giving up because those picks are going to be so valuable.
I need those. I need those.
Rudy Gobert, sorry, you're not going for 5 first-round picks.
No.
Like, teams are going to want to hold on to their picks because they're going to be
3 ones. No, I need my ones. No, I need them.
Hey yo, I don't want to interrupt y'all, man. Ron,
what's up,
Ron? I don't even want to break this here, bro.
Break it.
I cannot break this, bro. Ron.
What's good? Talk to us.
Bro. I'm so shocked, bro. Bro, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, man. Bro. The girl, bro. Hey, bro, look. Y'all gotta
give it up, Ticket. Stop playing, Ticket. Give it up, yo.
I'm going to do a video on this on Ticket TV too as soon as it's over with one of my channel. Ron, bro, y'all hold y'all breath, man. Bro,
we waiting, Ticket. We waiting.
I'm not gonna believe it. This shit is a bombshell right here, bro. Bro, how about the porn star we was just talking about, right?
Oh my god!
I knew he was about to lose.
Me too. Yeah.
Hold on. How about she said she might be pregnant too now? I know he ain't get 2 porn stars pregnant, man. Yes, at the same time.
At the same time.
I told you at the top of the show he working on a double off the court. That man putting up stats.
No comment.
I mean, neither. I got nothing, brother. I got nothing.
Congratulations, Zion. Congrats, Zion. Congrats.
And a lot of that, because
they finna clean his clock. Chill, tell all that money he just made, bro.
I need to hold $1 million a month,
bro. Chill. You know how
I need to hold listen. Let me tell you something. Lonzo Ball, his chick got I think 250,000 a month. With Zion, with the money, it was something crazy like that. Yeah, his chick got like 250,000, something crazy like that.
No, not 250.
Not 250,000. I'm sorry, 25,000. Not 250. I'm sorry, 25,000. My apologies.
Still don't take that much money to raise.
That's a lot.
So with that being said, Zion, who as I think he's 22, and he just signed a max deal. Yeah, I need to hold at least 50 to 60.
How much getting paid? Like
he's been making like 30 a year, like 30 a year.
And that's just don't forget he got the Jordan money too. Don't leave that part on the table. So I probably need 100 stacks. Come on, but keep it rolling. I'm sorry.
We got to wrap up right now, but I do, in light of this whole Zion thing, I just got a few more super chats that I'm about to read before we end it. Angie Carr said Zion gives maximum effort, just not on the court. She also said Zion busted ass, just not on the court. And last but not least, she said Zion's D is unmatched, just not on the court. Amen. Hey, y'all, we're going to be here at the same time tomorrow. Y'all know where to find us. Y'all know where we're going to be, and y'all know what we talking about.
Take it light, but take it.
Have a good one.